Does this look like the guy who can down 52 Oreo cookies in approximately 2 hours? Well, I hope you cannot answer to the affirmative. However, I may be forced to. And not that I haven't done it in the past. So I think I'm up to the challenge. We shall see. I'm either the guy that can answer college football trivia questions, or I'm the guy that's going to have to down 52 Oreo cookies in just about 2 hours. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, everyone. And this is the much anticipated, never before attempted Great Oreo Cookie Challenge. I am not necessarily the best candidate to be taking on food eating contests, not necessarily because I can't down a pretty good portion of especially dessert food. If you're going to throw me into some kind of steak eating contest, ribs, beef, boy, I love all those things, but I can only take so much. However, you throw me into a dessert eating contest and I could hold my own. You might be a little bit surprised. I could hold my own, except for the fact that there's usually a time parameter put on those type deals. And I'm a slow eater. So you will get the full gamut of the Mark Rogers Oreo eating experience here tonight at the Voice of College Football. So if you have yet to hear how this is all going to come down, this is the deal. And we do have our first caller on the line. Basically, I hear from time to time that I do know a little bit about college football. So therefore, I'm going to put my knowledge to the test tonight. There are no electronic devices around me. There is a laptop here, but I'm merely observing the return of the show. No phones, no nothing. No way to tap into any type of college football information. However, I will be taking your trivia questions both in the live chat, but what I suggest and really recommend and prefer is that you call the show and you play along. Let's all play along together. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking trivia questions on college football. If I get it right, hey, I want to hear a lot of applause for the Voice of College Football. If I get the question wrong, I've got to eat one of these babies. And for me, it had to be double stuff. And I purchased the party size, which includes 26 servings, 2 per serving. That's 52 cookies, if I've done the math correctly. 52 cookies. So I will not eat any more than 52 Oreo cookies tonight. Although I will say this. Hang on just a second. I was in training last night. And of course, you don't train exactly the way you play the game, right? So we went with the Chips Ahoy last night. This also being the party size of 3 cookies times 22 servings, 66 cookies in this baby. And we cleaned off about 1 full row, which would be 22. And I would say half that row and a little bit in that row. 40 cookies last night. And a few today with my bacon and eggs. So, hey, if we need backup and we have to go into overtime, I guess we could go to the final 25 or 30 Chips Ahoy. But the Oreos. And if you don't like Oreos, grab your favorite snack. We can play with Doritos. We can play with Lorna Doones. We can play with Chips Ahoy. We can play with whatever you prefer and play along right here at the Voice of College Football. And it's a must to have the milk with me, which would typically have been 2%, but I'm on a diet. So we had to go with a 1% skim low-fat milk. It's not the skim milk, the low-fat 1% milk. Because, again, I'm watching my weight. So we're trying to keep this in check. We appreciate everybody being here. So why don't we get started here on the Great Oreo Cookie Challenge. And we will invite in our first caller on the night. I have left the link in the live chat, folks. Oh, look at this. Where did this guy come from? Des, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Mark?
I am doing just fine.
Good,
What's
good.
going on with you?
Not too much. Actually, getting ready to go grab dinner with my youngest. But I actually joined on. I didn't have a trivia question, but I am going to go with a prediction that number one, so I do know about you that you're not a big sweets person. If I recall correctly, I
I,
know you
I, I'm
mentioned.
I'm not a big sweets person.
Did I get that wrong?
Did you happen to catch the intro here? This
Well,
is what I do
I
and
thought that
that's
was training and practice, which I know that is Mark, you don't go into anything ill prepared. So I thought that was just training,
no,
the equivalent of spring practice, weightlifting, waking up at 4 a.m.
this is pretty
So I have that wrong?
this is pretty standard fare, my friend.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So I did get that wrong. But what I am pretty sure is
Yes.
that there aren't going to be 52 questions that you cannot answer. In my experience with you, um, I mean, you would be probably the closest thing to a human college football Rolodex as there may be walking around the planet. I think I think if we got you and Steve Dace together to do this, I'm not sure a single Oreo, Chips Ahoy cookie, or my favorite, the Biscoff, which you get typically on the Delta flights.
Okay.
Those I love those.
I am
I'm
aware.
not sure. I'm not sure a single one would be consumed between the both of you.
Well, Des, I got to say, first of all, it's nice to see you. So Des joins us, of course, on the Michigan Channel. He's one of our hosts on the Michigan Channel, and he's been away for a little bit of time. I hope everything's going well with the family and everything's good. So thanks so much for calling. I appreciate your confidence in me. One of the reasons I came up with, I actually didn't think of this. Somebody else thought of this, and they requested this. Um, I will say, and I'm going to pound my chest a little bit, but I'm playing right into the narrative here, is that when I first started at ESPN, and I have never been, I was there for 19 years. If people don't know, I was at ESPN for 19 years, and I have never been surrounded by, as you can imagine, as many people that knew as much about sports as people at ESPN. That,
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Tons of people that just were encyclopedias themselves. However, I was there for a couple months, and it just through conversations, it was became the talking point in the office in the department there that I could answer all these questions and I could just knock out the trivia. So I used to walk in, and if there wasn't a whole lot going on or maybe really late at night, they would pull up baseballreference.com. I'm a big baseball fan, or was for most of my lifetime, and I had every statistic locked up here, or they'd go to collegefootballreference.com or nflreference.com, and they'd pull up player pages and they put sticky notes over all the vital information so I wouldn't know who it was, and they would time me to see how long I could tell them who that was, and they'd come up with the most obscure players, and so we had fun doing that.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how.
Okay.
I Couple questions. Are we gonna have like an Oreo counter going on, like anywhere on the stream? I'm just curious. Like, is that gonna be in the chat? Is
we're
there,
we're
are we
getting low on
gonna?
resource here. So if somebody out there wants to take count, that's great. It's pretty easy to take count. We've got 52 in the bag. So we
Absolutely,
can kind of go from
absolutely.
there. But you realize, Des, I appreciate the level of confidence you have in me, but people can think of ridiculous level questions here.
So
You
you're
know,
going any college football
yes,
question,
you know,
bring it, and you're gonna you take a stab at it.
I would hope people are not going to go to the level of, how many yards did Chad Henne throw for in 2006, and then I'm just guessing. I was a
What?
little happy with myself. I got him before. I know you got to go, and I appreciate you leading off our show tonight here, Des. But somebody was curious about Ricky Waters the other day, and they called in and brought up Ricky Waters. Hadn't thought of Ricky Waters in a long time. I was happy to come within one of his career NFL rushing total and yardage total, or his touchdown total in the NFL, and I was
Wow.
right in the ballpark with his 11,000 yards rushing. Yeah.
That's impressive because I think with Ricky Waters, and maybe it's just me, but I think what a lot of people think about with him is the Seattle Seahawks days, and not many people go back to the San Francisco
Oh,
days.
yeah.
And he was extremely, talented and had some big years with San Francisco. But so yeah, that is very interesting. I'm very curious to see how the it will go. I'll probably be in the chat and throwing, just kind of seeing how it goes. And I would say my last tidbit before I go is I'm going to speak on behalf of the Voice of College Football fans. Uh, I would imagine we are hoping that 1984 BYU and the national championship does not come up. I'm just going to say that. Now, you know me, I typically don't like to speak for such a large group of people as the Voice of College Football fans, but I think that is going to be, I feel confident saying that. I feel confident.
I will say that maybe for the first time, I hope it does come up, because for all the times we've talked about it, I should have everything locked and loaded.
Burned in your memory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes,
hey,
thanks
Mark,
for
best
dropping
of
by, man.
luck, man. This is going to be awesome, I'm sure. Hopefully the milk is nice and chilled so that,
Good.
it's a good experience for you. But yeah, I've got all the confidence in the world in you, and I'm sure you're going to do great. You're going to crush
Thanks, Des. Appreciate you, man.
See
Have a
you,
good
Mark.
one. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. And again, if you're stopping by for the first time, we are participating in this possibly together. That was the invite. I would love for all of us to take part in all of this together as we take on trivia questions. I have to eat a double stuffed Oreo for every question that I miss. All right. We don't have any callers on the line, so I've left a link there in the chat. We are going to go. I don't know if I can eat as many Oreos, though, with my glasses on. So understand that I think that definitely inhibits me a bit. We do have a super chat coming in from Erica. Erica, thank you so much for that contribution. I already finished my last few Tim Tams. What's a Tim Tam? Erica, will have you call in sometime and let us know what that is. Have you eaten today besides the Oreos you're about to eat? So my diet today consisted of 3 slices of bacon. I usually go with 4, but I'm cutting back. As you can tell, the nutritional plan is to cut back. 3 slices of bacon, 3 scrambled eggs. And I didn't want my stomach to be empty before I started this, so I had some almonds. It's about all I could find that didn't need to be fixed. So thank you for that. Next caller coming up here. And Erica, thank you once again. And of course, Erica, just by seeing Erica's name, it reminds me, Iowa show, 5:30 Eastern with Corey Bratta, Tuesdays at 5:30 Eastern. Always a good time. We'll see you then. We got Colby on the line. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, sir.
Hey, Mark. Love what you're doing. It seems fun.
Yeah, this will be a good time. And again, I invite anyone to play along. And if you seriously, I'm going to be serious here for a second, that if anybody out there wants to play along, but they don't, have the wherewithal to, eat that type of food, it's not good for them, those sorts of things. Certainly just play along, and I'm going to keep count of my hits and misses during this whole process.
Okay. So, Mark, I got 3 questions for you.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Only one's called football, but I think you might like the other 2.
Oh,
okay
this
with
is
you?
Colby calling, who called the other night about Elvis. Okay.
So you see where I'm getting at. Okay. All right.
I'm not eating double stuffed Oreo cookies missing Elvis questions, but go right ahead.
Okay. All right. Here's my first one.
Yep. Colby. I'm on the
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Colby, there you are. You're back.
Sorry. So Stetson Bennett was obviously the last Georgia player to be in the Heisman race.
Yes.
Can you name the last Georgia player other than Stetson to be in the Heisman race?
What do we consider the Heisman race? What do you mean as a
like
finalist?
they get invited to the Heisman ceremony. Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes.
All right. Let me think out loud here. Let me allow me that. Aaron Murray, Todd Gurley. Matthew Stafford. I don't think Jordan Davis. No, he wasn't that high on the Heisman list, even though we got a lot of
it. Yeah, he should have been invited that year.
A lot of play in 2021. No, he wasn't there. And I should have been watching the Heisman Trophy presentation for the last 20 years. I've kind of let that go. I'm going to say, I think I'm going to be eating a cookie here. I'm going to go with, I don't think Matthew Stafford. No, I'm going to go with, David Pollock. David Pollock. Man, he won a lot of awards at Georgia. I'm going to go with, I don't think Todd Gurley was at the Heisman.
He got hurt his junior year.
Yeah, I'm going to say David Pollock.
Final answer?
Final answer. Why not?
Mark, eat a cookie. It was Garrison Hearst.
Oh, wow. We're going way back. I thought of Garrison Hearst. We're going back to 1992, 93.
Yep.
Good Lord. All right. Oh, man. This package of Oreos got shaken up here a little bit on the trip home. My goodness. I've never seen such a disheveled bag of Oreos in my life. I don't even want to show the audience this. We're going to load up on the milk. I'm 0 for 1. Garrison Hearst. That's a fairly easy one, but hey, I missed it. Look at this. Look at this Oreo, for example. Look at what I'm working with here. I have never, for the hundreds of bags that I've ever purchased in my life, I've never seen Oreos look like this. Wow. Aldi's. I'm calling out Aldi's right now.
Should have went to Lidl.
This is how I eat them. All right, Colby, nice job. Garrison Hearst, I will never forget it.
All right, Mark, I got one more for you. I'll probably call back in later on. It depends on how long you do the show, of course, but with more college football questions. But I got a fun one for you. Since there's the Elvis guy, I got to throw this one at you. What is the first national TV show Elvis appeared on?
Contrary to popular belief, who believes it's the Ed Sullivan Show, it's certainly not the Ed Sullivan Show. And a lot of people would also tell you it was the Dorsey Brothers stage show, but it was actually the Jackie Gleason Show.
Ding, ding, ding. I thought I might have to make you...
I should be doing Elvis trivia tonight.
Hey, I just wanted to pick your brain about how good you know Elvis. Anyway, Mark, I'll be playing along. I have Chips Ahoy, not Oreos, double stuffed, but I'll be playing along.
Very nice. Thank you, Colby. Appreciate you being here. Have a good one.
Man. Bye.
I'm 0 for 1 on college football trivia. I'm 1 for 1 on Elvis trivia. How about that? I think we're starting a new channel here soon. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Of course, we've got Notre Dame fan Will on the line.
Hey, Mark. This is a lot of fun. I'm about to go get some Oreos. I did miss the Garrison Hearst one. I knew he was good, but I thought they would have had a guy. I thought they would have had like Gurley.
Yeah, since the early 90s.
Yeah.
He was the first person I thought of. But hey, should have went with that first instinct.
Yeah. So my trivia question is one that my dad shared with me a while ago when I was making a college football trivia show and no one knew it. But you're probably going to know this, Mark, but I'll throw it out there. So which player in the late 80s played wide receiver and halfback on offense, defensive back on defense, and kick returner on special teams?
Halfback, wide receiver, kick returner. What did he play on defense? He was a defensive back.
Yeah.
In the late 80s.
Yeah.
Well, thinking of versatile players.
I can give you the college if it'll help.
Well, yeah, of course it's going to help.
Yeah, I feel like he'll give it away though. I feel like he'll give it away.
Don't give it up. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. I'm reaching for another cookie. Certainly wasn't Tim Brown in the late 80s. Can you give me years? Do we know years?
84 to 88.
Oh,
84 to
88. I think who that would be. I don't even really have a good guess. And folks, I'm not looking at the chat, so if you want to share answers among yourselves. You know what I'm going to say? Because it seems fairly obvious, but I don't remember him playing one of these positions. Deion Sanders.
Gordy Lockbaum of Holy Cross.
Yes. He was a Heisman finalist. Or I don't know if he was a finalist, but yeah, Holy Cross, Gordy Lockbaum.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember him well. Well, I didn't really watch him play because nobody watched Holy Cross play, but yeah, very good. Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
Got anything else for me?
I'll come back. Am I okay to come back tonight for the show?
You are.
Okay, cool. I'll try to think of more questions. I was looking them up, but they're all pretty softball-y. So I'll see you later.
I will say this. There's no doubt about this. This is probably the worst time I've ever determined to do this, meaning that at any point in my life, after probably the age of 15, I would have been much better at this than I am now. So I know the least about college football right now than probably at any point in my life. All right, we've got our buddy David Greenshields coming in for the show. David,
yes. I'm let the gluttony continue here for Mark Rogers. Let's see if we
just
can
get started. And based on how I'm starting, then I'm going to be polishing off 52 cookies or something in that range. We'll see.
Okay, I got 3 for you here.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to start off with one. I may have given you this one before, but let's start off here. All right. From 1968 to 1980, only Ohio State or Michigan went to the Rose Bowl. Which team broke that string?
Iowa tied for the Big Ten championship in 81, went out to the Rose Bowl and lost to Washington 28-0.
Very good. Second one.
Finally, got one right.
Okay.
1 and 2. Okay.
From 1973 to 1983, the running back won the Heisman Trophy every year. What player broke that string?
84, Doug Flutie, Boston College.
Should have been Keith Byers, but I digress.
Byers second. Yes.
All right. This is the toughest one.
You're making me feel better about myself here. All right, keep going.
Joe Paterno had 5 undefeated seasons.
Yes.
Can you name the years?
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me think out loud here. 68, 69, 73, 86, 94. I'm going to go with those. 68, 69, 73, 86, and 94.
That is correct.
All right.
Wow.
3 straight.
3 for 3.
I'm working into it now.
I thought the third one would be the charm for Mark Rogers. I thought a double stuff was coming there. By the way, he only won the national title one of those 5 years.
That's right, 1986,
and actually won it in a year where he had a loss, which was 82.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
and
Georgia
lost
fans.
Alabama by 3 touchdowns.
Right. That's right. And actually, I still believe deserved a share of it in 94. I think his 94 team always
absolutely
got the short end of the stick.
Well, I'm sure, David, it means a lot to Penn State fans to know that in the revised Voice of College Football national championship rankings, we do credit Penn State with a national championship in 1994. I'm sure they're excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take the Mark Rogers. I don't know if there's a place they could put that somewhere, like in the banners or in the trophy cases or somewhere there, Mark. But how many cookies have you had so far?
So I missed the first two questions.
Okay, I got here late.
Did you hear the first two? I'll give them to you. Maybe you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So Stetson Bennett, of course, made the Heisman final, the Final Four this past season. Who was the previous Georgia player, the most recent to reach Heisman finalist status?
As in like Final Four?
The Final Four, yes. And this was the first name I thought of, and I still went with somebody else.
Wasn't Todd Gurley?
No, it was Garrison Hurst.
Okay, 92.
Yeah.
In honor of Ohio State and Georgia playing the last time they'd played before that.
Things kind of work out like that.
Isn't that crazy?
I actually guessed David Pollock.
Yeah.
It's a bit aggressive, but he won like every award in the world defensively.
I wanted to throw that as a defensive player. Before Woodson won it, was the highest a player ever finished Hugh Green in 1980, Mark?
Yeah, he was second, right? Wasn't Hugh Green second to George Rogers, or was he third?
Well, Herschel had a really good freshman year, too.
Oh, yeah. Herschel was second. Yeah.
Yeah. Hugh Green might have finished third.
Might have been third.
Highest, I think, offensive lineman may have finished was Pace, maybe in 96, I think, right?
You know who else finished extremely high? He might not have been second, was Jim Stillwagon in 73.
No, he was gone by 73, Mark. No, John Hicks in 73.
John Hicks in 73?
Was the offensive lineman,
Was
yes.
he the offensive lineman?
Yeah, that was John Hicks.
Stillwagon.
Yeah. Still got plenty of cookies left, Mark?
50 to be exact.
And hopefully plenty of milk.
Do you remember the other question that was posed was the player who played between 1984 and 88 who played running back, wide receiver, defensive back, and returned kicks?
I would have been Tim Brown.
He was the first guy that I thought of. That's not the answer. My guess was Deion Sanders because I couldn't come up with halfback, him ever playing halfback, but of course he did the other three. It was Gordy Lockbaum, the Holy Cross player. I wouldn't have, even though I certainly remember when he became kind of a national sensation. I think he even graced the cover of Sports Illustrated. Yeah, I wouldn't have come up with him just because Holy Cross is off my radar.
Yeah, that I mean, obviously not even a name that people would have thought of, by the way. Yeah. I think that would have been pretty much out there. I really thought I was going to get you on the Paterno one. Good job there, Mark, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. So.
I should have studied for this. I should have like just amassed volumes of just data like last night. I should have just read encyclopedias is what I should have done.
Well, that brain of yours is an encyclopedia, Mark. That's
3 out of 5. So
I'm glad I contributed the 3, though.
You got me out of my slump.
Yeah, I got you. I thought the first 2 might have kind of been layups, by the way. All right, here's one more for you. I'll throw it out there.
Sure.
Okay. Woody Hayes has won the most Rose Bowls of any Big Ten coach. Who's second?
Can you tell me how many Woody Hayes has won? Like I could count them up, but
4.
4. Okay. Oh, so he is alone in first place with 4.
Yeah.
So 3 at the most by another coach. Bo's got 2. Paterno 1-1. Penn State's only been Michigan. Maybe we're going back to 80s, 90s. Oh, hang on. Barry Alvarez has 2. Man, I got to think somebody way, way back. Although you could not go back to the Rose Bowl the following season. And Paul Brown wasn't there long enough. Was West? Can I ask you a question? Is second place with 3?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not Barry Alvarez. Is it Minnesota? Who else? Wes Fessler?
No.
Who is it?
It's Barry Alvarez.
Oh, he won 3.
Yes.
93,
98, 99.
Oh,
I knew I could get an Oreo out of there, Mark.
I mentioned him. Can I at least eat a half? That's right. Oh my word.
That's right. 93, 98, 99.
Yeah. They beat UCLA, Stanford.
Yeah, Bo coached, I believe, in the most at 10 and 2-8.
Can I recover the Oreo and the miss if I recite all the scores of those games?
You're really trying to get out of eating this Oreo, aren't you?
I want to show that I knew that, but I just was a little lazy there.
You know the scores and the 3 teams?
Well, I know the 3 teams were UCLA.
Yeah, I know the 3. Yeah, I figured that. That's true.
And I know definitely the last score was 17-9 against Stanford, and the second game against UCLA was 38-31. The first game against UCLA was, it's rattling around up there. It was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to kick myself if I don't get this. I don't want to sit here forever and have people wait on me. If I get the first score of the first game, I'm going to count that as a win.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm allowed by you.
I'll give it to you. No, I'll give it to you because that's impressive if you can do that. Go ahead.
Well, if I want to move along here, unless you got any other questions.
No. I can give you the score if you want to. I actually do remember the score of that game.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, what's the game?
Well, I watched the game too. I've probably seen it 4 times since then.
JJ Stokes was on that UCLA team.
Sure. Man, I got all sorts of numbers in my head, and I can't. I think I'm going to spit it out wrong. Was it 27-16?
21-16.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
21-16.
Enjoy that cookie, my friend.
That's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, as you might say.
A bitter Oreo to go down.
I should be 4-2 right now. You're going to hear me talking about this more so than like the missed 50-yard field goal against Georgia, like a year from now, saying, no, I wasn't that. I was really one better than that.
Enjoy those cookies, Mark. Take care, my friend.
$21-16. See, this is what I meant a few minutes ago. Pardon for me being a slob here. Is that, yes, I would have done much better at this years ago. So I think I can recite every Rose Bowl score. Apparently I can't because I missed that one. 21-16, not 27-16. Too many numbers in my head. I also need to say goodbye to our callers before I throw the Oreo in my mouth, because then I'm finished. All right. Welcome in the voice of college football. It's our buddy Joey.
What do you say, Mark? Are you enjoying all these cookies? What do you?
Well, I've only eaten 3 so far, so we'll see how many I have to eat. I'm still a bit perturbed about the last one there, but how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I think you knew the answer. You just tripped up a little bit, but that's okay.
21.
I got a couple of questions.
27. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I got a couple of questions for you. So, all right. So let's go with the Burlesworth Trophy. What year did the Burlesworth Trophy first come out?
I don't even know what the Burlesworth Trophy is.
Uh-oh.
So I'm missing this one for sure. I have no idea what that
is. The
even
walk-on of the year.
The walk-on of the year. Well,
it goes to a walk-on.
Technically, still get this right, even though I don't know what this is. I've never even heard. Well, I just said that. I've never heard of it. I have no idea what this is. I've never even heard anyone talk about it. Nothing. Okay. Well, there had to be walk-on. I'm gonna say.
Okay, I'll tell you what. It was in 2010. This is the first year.
Well, oh, okay. Well, I wasn't gonna
So
guess.
think about walk-on in 2010. Tell me who the first one was.
In 2010.
Yeah.
Might
be a help you out if I tell you the team.
Well, yes, it's going to help me out, but you don't need to help me out. Did you say Georgia Tech?
Yeah.
2010 Georgia Tech. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that was the first. The first winner of it was Sean Bedford, center for Georgia Tech.
The center for Georgia Tech. Sean who?
Yeah. Bedford.
Don't remember him.
Sean Bedford. And then it actually became, now that was the first year for it, but it actually did not become a part of the National College Football Awards Association until 2019, which was going to be my part 2 question to you.
See, outside of the Heisman, this is going to be, if anybody wants to trip me up, this is the way to do it. I pay no attention to these awards. I really don't. I don't watch them.
That's where I figured I could get you. I couldn't come in here and say who won the 1982 Heisman Trophy. You're going to tell me that right away. Or who won the 1981 National Championship.
Yes.
You're going to tell me that.
I'm going to take, I'm going to take wins for those two, right? Anyway, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm not big into I know everybody that won it, of course, but I don't know when they won it and all that. Yeah, I'm not a big awards guy, kind of a counterculture guy when it comes to these other people voting on awards. If they give me a vote, maybe I'll pay attention then. Okay.
But I guarantee you can tell me who won the Burlesworth Award last year.
Walk-on last year, Stetson Bennett.
Yes, that's who won it last year.
Ding, ding, that's ding. Right. I'll take it. Okay. Anything else, Joey?
All right. No, that's it. I just wanted to see if I could trip you up. You want a West Virginia question, really? But
really?
Since you started watching, since you started on the doing the West Virginia channel, you picked up a lot on West Virginia. So
you guys are talking about the current team most of the time.
Right. Okay. So
that's really funny.
I'll tell you what. I'll come up with a couple of West Virginia questions, and I'll come back in and challenge you.
Yeah, if you could throw me some bowl games, some easy. They wouldn't necessarily be easy, but All right, Joey. Yeah, if you got anything for me later, certainly jump on board.
Okay, I'll come back. All right, Mark. We'll see you later.
Our man Joey Foster getting things done, no doubt. So the count is 6 correct and 4 wrong, and should be 7 and 3. I'm going to review the tape on the David Greenshield question, because I think even in the process of answering it, or before I answered it, going through the vetting of the question, I said Barry Alvarez in 93, 98, 99. Okay. Next up here at the Voice of College Football, got our buddy John on the line. Or is this Beavis we're talking to?
It's John. LSU fan here, so I got some LSU trivia questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 1988, unranked LSU defeated number 4 Auburn in Tiger Stadium by a score of 7-6. During this game, Tommy Hodson completed the game-winning touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to this running back.
I wish he would have asked me who the quarterback for LSU was, because that's the first thing that came to mind when you said LSU 1988. I thought Tommy Hodson. Or if he would have asked me who did LSU lose to in 1988 in non-conference play on the road in 1988. You know the answer, obviously, to that, right?
I think it was Florida, but I'm not 100% sure.
In non-conference play in 1988.
Oh, Miami of Ohio.
No.
Right?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. I thought they tied that game.
They tied the year before in 87 in Death Valley.
Okay, yeah, I was at that game, and
oh, you were in Death Valley for the tie game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to our question here. LSU wide receiver 1988. Did he play in the NFL?
No, it was a running back, and he did play. He did have an NFL career, but it wasn't much of one.
Okay. Yeah, this was post Dalton Hilliard, and do I get what number he wore?
33.
Oh man, I'm gonna kick myself when I can see this. Yeah, saw the 3 guys that all played before that. 1988 LSU running back. Played some in the NFL. Yeah, I don't want to sit here forever and try to guess. So I'll say I missed.
Eddie Fuller.
Eddie Fuller? Remember Eddie
Yes.
Fuller? Sure. I should have gotten that one. I can put it together now. Yeah, Eddie Fuller, 33, LSU. All right. I'll eat a cookie during another trivia question if you've got one.
What was the nickname of that game?
Oh. I have no idea.
It was the earthquake game.
Oh. In 88?
Yeah, that was the year that whenever Eddie Fuller caught that pass, the crowd got so loud that it registered an earthquake in LSU's geoscience building.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before. I might have come across that at some point. But yeah, that. Any other ones, John? While I'm bombing on LSU questions.
Well, I mean, I've got about 10 questions here. How many do you want?
Keep going.
In 1993, an unranked 3-5 LSU team defeated number 5 Alabama 17-13.
Right.
This future 7-time first-team All-Pro started at center for the Tigers in that game.
Alan Faneca.
Kevin Mawai.
Oh, Kevin! As soon as I said, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. In that game, LSU was a 27-point underdog.
Yeah.
What was the nickname of that game?
Well, I don't know the nicknames of any games. I didn't know there was a nickname for. I have no idea.
I won't expect you to eat an Oreo for this one. This one was actually kind of hard. It's mostly LSU fans that know this. It's known as the day pigs flew.
Okay.
Because
I'll eat a cookie for that. Hey, an LSU question.
This one's hard. I don't expect you to get this one.
Okay, I'll just keep eating cookies then. Go ahead.
Ronnie Lott once described this former LSU Tiger as the toughest player in the league to take down.
Well, that would have been sometime, obviously, in Ronnie Lott's career between 1981 and 94, something like that. That was what's his name? Collins. I'm not going to guess him because he played later, right? I can't
Correct.
think of his name. What was his first name?
Who the Cecil Collins.
Yeah. Can you give me a number on this player?
Oh, that's too easy. You'd give it away.
I don't know about that.
21.
Yeah, I can. Oh, wait a minute.
You just said his name about 3 minutes ago.
Well, that's who I thought of first, but I didn't want to screw up the question. Dalton Hilliard. Okay.
That is correct. It is Dalton Hilliard. Okay. You want some more?
Sure. Nobody else is calling, or I don't know if I've got any questions in the chat here.
This next one's slow pitch softball. I expect you to get this one. In 1997, number 14 LSU upset number 1 Florida in Tiger Stadium. What was the final score of the game?
Did you say 97?
Correct.
Upset Florida in Tiger Stadium. And you're telling me this is a softball to name the final score of a game between LSU and Florida in 1997?
Yeah, but LSU was 14, Florida was 1. LSU was like a 15-point underdog or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm taking a shot in the dark. 21-20.
28-21. I thought for sure you're normally really good with scores.
Yeah, I'm good with scores, but I don't have everyone, in the history of college football. That's quite a few. Yeah, I don't remember that game at all.
Okay. All right. During the 2002 Sugar Bowl versus Illinois, this LSU wide receiver set a Sugar Bowl record for receiving yards with 239 receiving yards.
Oh, man. This should be easy. Yeah, they pilled Illinois, 47-34, and it wasn't anywhere close to being that close. Do I get a bonus for naming the score of that game?
Sure.
Okay. We'll say Mark Clayton.
Josh Reed.
Josh Reed. Okay.
Okay. During the same Sugar Bowl, this LSU running back set 2 Sugar Bowl records for rushing touchdowns and all-purpose touchdowns by scoring 4 rushing touchdowns.
LSU running back in 2001.
2001, 2002. Yeah.
Season. Did he play in the NFL?
Yes, he played for the Houston Texans.
Well, I obviously know who he is. He played in the NFL. Let's keep playing back. I'm going to kick myself when I hear this name. Go ahead, John.
Oh, his initials are DD.
Yeah, I shouldn't need any help.
Dominic Davis.
Dominic Davis. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. I got one more if you want it.
Sure.
Which 1990s LSU Tiger holds the all-time LSU rushing yardage record?
Well, I got to think that was Kevin Falk.
Correct.
Well, John, thanks for stopping by
Thank you.
and load it up with questions. Have a good night.
You too.
9 right, 9 wrong. It doesn't feel like I'm doing that well. So, Dominic Davis. Who did he say? Josh Reed. Yeah, I do recall that now. I remember that night being very embarrassed for the Big Ten. Yeah, Josh Reed went nuts on that bad Illinois defense in the Sugar Bowl. All right. Let's get to our next caller here. Oh, we got Ben on the line, Exploring with Ben and Sam. What's going on, Ben?
I don't feel like those Oreos are getting eaten fast enough.
You don't think they're getting eaten fast enough? I've eaten.
Oh no. We gotta up the game a little more. I think you know where these questions are going.
Yeah, they're going to Oregon.
A little rapid fire for you.
Oh, rapid fire. Okay.
Well, I won't say a rapid fire. We're gonna get through them. I just want to see you have to.
Yeah, I don't eat fast, so nothing's gonna get me to eat fast.
All right, we'll start off with really something simple.
Okay.
When did Oregon last win their national title? For football.
They've never won a national title.
Ding, correct. That's what the O means, 0. Yeah, laugh it up, chat. Laugh it up. Blah, blah, blah,
well, at least you get a sense of humor, Ben. That's good to see. Ben can laugh at himself. How about that, everybody?
Well, that was the simple question mark.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, just calm yourself down here.
I paused though just to make sure. Is this a trick question in some way? Okay, go ahead.
In what year did the University of Oregon begin to play football?
Oh, you talk about a guess. Well, football came a little bit later to the West Coast. I'm going to say on questions like this, I actually think that I should get like a 5 to 10 year buffer or something.
I'll give you on these, like the yardage one. You said about if someone asks you how many yards does this person pass for, I'm like, you got to have a buffer. So I'll give you a 5-year buffer. How about that?
All right.
Either way, plus or minus 5 years.
Oregon. I'm going to say 1911.
Negative.
When did Oregon start playing?
1894.
Yeah. What did I say? 1911?
11. Yeah. You were outside the buffer zone.
Yeah, as I certainly was. Look how bad they
Connor and Clint in the chat will know. Yeah, we've been playing, remember, the Civil War a long time. A long time.
But not as long as the Civil War.
Well, no, I dispute that. But we can take that offline. All right, I can get rid of that tab. I actually lost that question for a second here. A simple question then.
Yes.
While you're chewing so you can think about it. Marcus Mariota is the only Oregon Heisman winner. Who was the previous Heisman nominated player and what rank did they finish? Not year, just player and like ranking.
Do I really need a two-parter here? If I can tell you who the player is.
Okay, then just the ranking they finished.
The highest. The highest.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that because I'll be simple on you. The highest finalist before, other than Mariota in the Heisman ranking.
How high was he?
I don't know. So who was the highest ranked player, Heisman finalist, besides Mariota, obviously?
Well, if you had, never mind. if that was going to be your question,
I knew that question was going to come out a little weird.
Okay. I'm trying to think who. Yeah, that's not correct. Is it?
It is kind of a tricky question because there have been several really good players over the years. I mean, it's kind of a tricky question.
Well, I think it would be tricky for any legitimate school. It's going to have several players that are going to be. My mind's going in 4 different directions, and I'm going to go with Joey Harrington.
You were so close with a Michael James.
That was one of my 4 directions.
Yeah, that's why I simplified the question a little bit for you, because I knew that would come out weird. LaMichael finished third.
Dan Fouts.
Yeah, LaMichael finished third. Harrington finished 4th. Shockingly, I didn't even know this. Dennis Dixon still finished 5th. Even though he missed like the last 3 or 4 games of the year. Yeah. He still finished 5th. So yeah, that's why I was like, that's a little tricky one, because everyone wants to think LaMichael or Harrington.
Impressive.
I'm gonna split between those 2. Let's see what else can I do for you. So in this illustrious history of Oregon football, with the hiring of Dan Lanning as head coach, how many head coaches has the University of Oregon football had?
Well, they've been playing since, I didn't know if you knew this, Ben, but they've been playing since 1894.
Yeah, Mark, you didn't say take it easy on me. So I'm not taking it easy on you.
Leading up to this, I had a lot of people throw different things the last few days, and I said, no, go full go. It was 106 and 128 years ago.
I'll give you, think about it. You had the Rich Brooks, Mike Bellotti eras, so that took up a lot of space.
I'm certainly not going to be counting these guys. That's about as far, I can only go back to the early 80s in terms of counting Oregon. I couldn't name you an Oregon coach prior to 1980. So I certainly can't count them. So 120, if the average coach lasted 3 to 4 seasons, I guess I'm going to say that would be 30. I'm going to say 27.
You were on right track. I think you were saying 30 something, but then you stopped. And
yeah,
I'm still going to give you that 5, plus or 5 minus range, even buffer. You're still wrong. 35th.
Yeah.
Oreo time.
You had to tell me that you were going to give me the buffer after.
Well, I was going to give you a buffer a little bit, because that is a ridiculous question. John Delaney even said that's a ridiculous level question. We got to get our fun at Mark once in a while. I mean, he doesn't call me anymore. Simple question then.
I can't respond with my mouth's full.
Okay, yeah.
So,
nom. Yeah, that's right. Nom.
Do we have another question?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mark, do you have other callers online, or is no one calling in?
Just one.
Oh, just one? Okay. I'll give you 2 other questions. One pretty easy and one you're going to miss. But I'll give you a buffer on the harder question, and then I'll get off here.
Okay.
How many times has the Oregon Ducks played in the Rose Bowl?
Well, they've obviously played in the Rose Bowl, so I'm going to go recent times, 94 against Penn State. Then the next time they played would have been, I guess, the Ohio State 2010 game. And then they would have played again under when they played Wisconsin, and they played another game against Wisconsin. So that's 4. And then, so prior to 94, I know they hadn't been in the Rose Bowl in forever. But they were in the Rose Bowl at some point back in, I'm going to go with, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing a Rose Bowl appearance. Oh, they played in the college football playoff in the Rose Bowl. Wait a minute. Okay, hang on. Wisconsin game is 2019, the Rose Bowl game in 2014, the game against Russell Wilson in Wisconsin in 2011, the Ohio State game. I got 5 games since 94. I'm going to say 6.
I actually may be wrong in this also, but I'm gonna give you 6 because they had not won the Rose Bowl in
you said
some years.
Oh,
no.
wait
It wasn't win or loss. It was not win or loss. It was just how many times they played in it.
Yeah.
So they did play it back in it way back when. The first time Chip Kelly won, it had been 89 years or whatever it was. So 6 is correct. The college football playoff one is the one that I thought would throw you off because people forget that was at the Rose Bowl.
I passed it there my first go around. Then I remembered. Yeah, that was the Florida State game. Yep.
All right. Well, we got to get you one more Oreo really quickly, rapid fire. Oregon's bowl game win and losses. How many bowl games have they won in their history? Including this should include all BCS bowl games.
Well, again, I'm getting.
And they were crap for a long time.
Oh my goodness.
You're welcome, Mark.
Okay. Well, the one this past year, there's one. All right. 22, 21, they lost. 20, they lost. 19, they won. 18. What year was that? Was the Willie? No, that was Cristobal's first year. I'm going to sit here and count them.
Do you want to just eat the Oreo now?
No, I don't want to eat the Oreo. I know their bowl history post 1980. That's where these all-time questions get a little bit difficult. So
this is pretty much. I mean, really, record-wise, probably is not that much past 70. Since 70, probably.
And these are just wins, right?
Wins, yeah.
Okay. One. Four, 5. I'm going to say 10.
I was still giving you a buffer of 5 even, but it's 16 by record, apparently.
No, they must have won a lot of bowl games before 1980-ish.
Yeah, apparently, they're still apparently 16 and 20, so it's still a losing record. But, the chat's like, what the hell? I was going to ask you the Oregon records too, but I wasn't going to ask you. That's a little very complicated, that one. You have to deal with tie.
If you tell me how many games total won and lost, I'll take a shot.
No, Mark. That's no. Everyone calling in, don't give them easy ways out. Mark asked for this.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the record?
Apparently 16 and 20.
No, the Civil War record.
Oh, the Civil War one? Oh, sheesh, I closed that one. I was going to actually ask you another one, but I forgot about it. It was on another tab. Connor or Clint can clarify it. But Oregon leads, but we've had like 10 ties, too, over the years.
Well, just give me the number of games and the number of ties. We'll see how close I can come to the all-time.
Yeah. I will say, if you ask a specific number like yardage too, give Mark a buffer. It does help. It's still difficult, but it does help a little bit. But it's still difficult. So, all right, Mark. Well, enjoy your Oreos.
I thought I was going to get the Civil War.
Oh, well, I can find that really. Oh, there you go. Here we go. Here you go. If you want a really complicated question, you're not going to guess this one. Since conception of Oregon football, how many times have they won or shared the conference title?
a conference title, not necessarily
Since conception. Yeah, since conception.
Oh, shit.
There you
Uh,
You wanted to step it up, Mark.
all right. Well, I'm going to say 90s, 2000s, 10, 20.
And this is shared also.
14.
I was going to give you a five buffer, so that's fine. 11 times.
Okay.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that buffer. I'll give you that buffer.
Okay. What's the Civil War? Give me the number of games.
Okay. So the entire amount of games between Oregon State per record is. Oh, Christ! I didn't have this one pulled up. I got you here in like 10 seconds total. Everyone, while I'm doing this quick calculation math here, please hit that like button for Mark. It helps him out a lot.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. All right. So out of 126 games.
126. Okay.
How many times was that?
Give me the number of ties and I'll tell you the record minus the ties.
Okay. So 126 games.
Yep.
And 10 ties.
That's 116.
What is within a 5 buffer range? I'll give you 5 again.
Yeah.
What is the winning record in the series and who has the record?
Well, I know that Oregon has the. So out of 116, I'm going to say Oregon won. What would that be? 70. Let me think about this. It's fairly dominant. I'm going to go with 70, 46. I'm going to say it was 116. I'm going to go 78-38.
Shove that Oreo in your mouth, Mark.
Really?
67-49.
Oh. I thought thought Oregon had been a little more dominant than that.
Yeah, the Beavers were good, and they always get their upsets. Or as Clint says, remember the 1983 Toilet Bowl? Yeah, 0-0. That was the tie range, but still, there were those years. So,
yeah,
all right,
off by 11. Okay.
Hey, at least I got you to eat a few Oreos. It's helping the pack go down in numbers. So,
yeah.
Hopefully everyone else takes this as a lead. Be gentle at first, and then just go hardcore.
Yeah, and then beat me down.
All right, Mark, and have a good one.
Ben.
And, enjoy those Oreos.
Oh, I'm starting not to. Thanks, Ben.
All right, Mark.
All right. You guys are exactly playing in my wheelhouse here. Oregon, West Virginia, LSU. Man, maybe some Big Ten questions might be good. In the SEC. Probably the best at those two conferences. But we got West Virginia Joey in here again.
Okay. All right, Mark. So I've been here before and asked you about the Burlesworth, but you didn't know anything about that. So, all right. So I'll start off with a softball, an easy question for you, because you know this one. Who's the winningest college football program in history to have never won a national championship?
That would be West Virginia.
That would be West Virginia. Okay, so now they're going to get just a little.
Yes, I appreciate that, Joey. Lift my confidence.
Boost your confidence. That's right. Okay. How many top 5 finishes has West Virginia players had? Let's see. Who has only 2 players have finished in the top 5 in Heisman Trophy from West Virginia? Who are those 2 players?
Well,
and one of them did it twice.
So I got about 4 guys in my head right now, and I'm going to go. So I'm thinking out loud here, Joey. These aren't answers, okay?
All right.
Major Harris. got Gary Stills. We've got Sam Huff. We've got Amos Zaraway. We've got Steve Slayton. We've got I'm gonna say, oh shoot, I'm gonna go Major Harris and Pat White.
No, Pat White finished 6th one year and 7th another. The Major Harris did finish in the top 5 twice. You was right about Major Harris. The other one was Will Greer. Finished 4th.
Will Greer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, shoot, I'm really, missing these couple Heismans by one freaking place in the row. Carl?
Yeah. All right, some other easy ones. West Virginia scored 10 touchdowns. West Virginia scored 10 touchdowns against Clemson in the Orange Bowl in 2012.
Yeah.
How many of those were touchdown passes by Geno Smith?
6.
That's right. There was 6. Very good. KJ Harris held the record for West Virginia for most rushing yards in a game at 344. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. That's not right. Not 344. His record was 337.
Okay.
KJ Harris had 337 yards in rushing in one game.
Yeah.
That record was broken in 2012 by this player who had 344 yards rushing.
Ooh. 2012. Let me ask you this, Joey. How good was West Virginia in 2012? I don't exactly recall off the top of my head.
2012 was the years of Geno, Stabman, Bailey.
Sure. Oh, was that
Tavon
the year?
Austin.
That was the year that they started like 6-0, and then they lost games in a row.
Right, we started out 6-0 in the Big 12. Right.
Okay. Geno Smith. Who was the running back for Geno Smith?
What player holds the single game rushing record for West Virginia? It was in 2012.
Oh,
and it was against Oklahoma. I will tell you that.
Remember their backs from that year? I'm going to guess Stedman Bailey.
No, it was Tavon Austin. Had 344 rushing yards against. Don't you remember that game?
Well, that's who I was going to say, but I thought, how did he rush for that much yardage?
Yeah, they put him in the backfield that game. It was the only game he started as a running back.
That was the first guy that came to mind because he was the best player on the team, but I just thought, well, he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, I made you eat a couple of cookies and threw you a couple of questions there. That wasn't too bad. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm falling way behind 50% here. I have 14 right and 16 wrong.
Yeah, you got what'd you get? Two right and 2 wrong with me? Is that right?
I don't know, but I know that I should have gotten Tavon Austin, and then Pat White finished 6th, not 5th. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, finished 6th and 7th. Will Greer finished 4th. Actually, Will Greer finished 4th, and that was the same. Major Harris finished 4th and 5th in Heisman. So that's a good job, Mark. You did good. West Virginia's trivia is going to be tough for someone. So,
all right, Joey.
All right, hi, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Yeah, I would love to have transported myself back about 20 years to do this. My memory was much better. All right, to the chat. See if are you guys throwing out any questions here in the chat? That is, man, that was a bit of a trick question there. Yeah, Tavon Austin was obviously the best West Virginia player on the team in 2012, but I just thought, how in the world, he's a wide receiver, was he running for 344 yards? So I went Stedman Bailey, another wide receiver. I just thought maybe Jet Sweets. All right. Yeah. Is anybody playing along? I've counted 30 questions. I've hit 14 of 30, which I'm sorely disappointed with myself to an extent, because about 5 or 6 of them were very, very makeable. But all in all, I was going to say, if you guys don't keep this going, then I'm done for the night. But here we go. Welcome into the Voice of College Football.
Hi there, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing all right, but I've had to eat 16 Oreos, double stuffed Oreos, which is not a difficult task for me, but for some reason it's not sitting too well right now.
Yeah. Well.
But hopefully I can keep going and do a little bit better. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I've got 4 questions for you.
Okay.
3 of them I think are fairly moderate in difficulty.
Okay.
One of them I think is could give you some trouble. So.
Yeah.
First one. In 2017, the UCF Knights won an astounding 13-0 and claimed a share of the national championship. While disputed, the claim by the university is supported by the official NCAA record book, as one poll officially recognized by the association nominated Central Florida as its pick as the champion. Which poll was that?
If I saw it on a multiple choice, I would certainly recognize it, but I can't come up with that in any such way. I don't. Again, there are certain things I don't pay any attention to, and that would be one of them. To polls that I have no respect for. So, let me know, who was that?
The Coley Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't even know if I would have gotten that on a multiple choice, because pay no attention to that stuff. All right, got to eat an Oreo for that one. The UCF, more legitimately, the Voice of College Football said that UCF should claim a national championship in 2017. That's all I was paying attention to at the time.
Yeah.
All right, sir, go ahead.
All right, second one. On the 13th of September 2008, these 2 college football teams faced off in a game where the away team won 3-2. Which 2 teams played, and who was the winner?
2008, 3-2. So not the Penn State Iowa 6-4 game. 3-2. Don't remember 3-2. 2008. Let me think. Yeah, I don't recall that game.
That would be Auburn at Mississippi State in Starkville, with Auburn winning.
I do remember that game now. I covered Mississippi State for a long time. It was about 8 years after I left, but I do remember that game. That looks like a regular Oreo. Yeah, now that you bring that up, I should have gotten that one. All right.
All right. Third of 4 questions. And I am a Nebraska fan, so this one pains me, but it was one that I came up with. In the great Tom Osborne's second to last season as the head coach of Nebraska, the number 1 Cornhuskers were stunned on the road in an early non-conference matchup. Who beat them, and what was the final score?
Okay, so that was 1996.
Correct.
That was the year they lost to Texas in the championship game, right?
Correct.
To James Brown. Non-conference loss that season. I believe they lost to Arizona State on the road.
Well, I'll give you a 5-point buffer here.
I think it was 19-0.
That is correct. You got it. It was Arizona State, and it was exactly 19-0. So
Okay.
there you go. And then final question. This is the one that I think is the toughest. When considering all regular and postseason games in the history of the 14 Big Ten schools, which 3 have winning records against the SEC? Note this does not include Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, 3 teams in the Big 12, you said, or the Big 10?
Big Ten. Big Ten.
when you threw out Oklahoma, I got you. Why you threw them out? Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, Big Ten, 3 Big Ten teams have winning records against. Well, so my one question would be: is this counting Penn State as a member of the Big Ten or just overall? Because they're going to be one of them. I would.
This is overall. So in the entire history of all 14 of these teams.
Okay.
Not
I'm
just.
I'm going to say. Oh man, I think 2 of them are fairly not easy, but I think I got 2, and then the other one's probably going to be somebody's like 2-1 or something. Let's see. I'm going to go. Certainly not Ohio State, that's for sure. I'm going to go Penn State and Nebraska. And my third team is going to be. Hang on, I could count Michigan's. So they started playing out of conference bowl games, non-Rose Bowl games. Michigan 80, 81, 82, 83, 0-1, 84, 85, 86, 88, 1-1, 88, 80, 88, 89, 90, 2-1, 91, 92, 93, 84. They lost. Did they lose to Texas A&M or beat Texas A&M in '95? But they weren't an SEC school. And so anyway, okay, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3. It might be Michigan. Hang on, 5-3. 06, 07. Lost to Mississippi State. That'd be 5-5. I don't think it is Michigan. 5-5.
Remember, this includes all games in the history of college football. So there's no specific time frame.
Yeah, and you just said bowl games, right?
No, all.
Oh, okay.
My apology.
Oh, no, that's not your fault. I was just counting bowl games, so there's no reason to do that. Okay. I will say, again, you can let me know, are Penn State and Nebraska correct?
You've got one of those right.
Oh, well, then I missed it anyway, so who is it?
Nebraska, Minnesota, and Michigan. So
Penn State doesn't have Minnesota. Yeah, I kind of knew one of them would be some kind of wild card team.
Penn State is 18-22. Okay. So they're
all right.
So there you go. That's you got one right out of those 4, which they're pretty tough. They're just random things that I could remember. So
no, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the call.
Everyone, make sure to leave a like on the stream because
yes, thank you for that.
Helps everyone out. So, have a good day.
Thanks, man. So we've got Heisman here, and I got to tell you, it's more difficult eating these Oreos than I anticipated. Because again, I'm probably about a typical sitting of Oreos at 19, and I really don't want to eat any more Oreos. I got to tell you that. I didn't want to eat after about 3. Okay, Mark. Gale Sayers planned to attend the University of Iowa. I did not know that. He flipped to Kansas. I knew that. When Iowa's head coach was too busy to meet with him during his campus visit. Can you imagine that? Named the coach, he later became an NFL offensive coordinator and head coach. Because from time to time on our Iowa show, the coach who preceded Hayden Fry is brought up, and I can't remember his name, but I didn't know that. So this is in like 19. Gale Sayers' NFL career, I believe, started in 65, right? He was the Rookie of the Year in the NFL. I would do better in NFL trivia, actually. 65. was Gale Sayers' first year with the Bears. I'm almost certain he played from 65 to 71. So he would have been at Kansas. So this would have been like 1960. That's a great question. That's a great question that I don't know the answer to. Iowa head coaches prior to Hayden Fry. I can't think of the guys, and I don't even know if I'm thinking of the same guy. Eisman, I appreciate the super chat. I will eat a Oreo, my 20th Oreo for that, and certainly leave the answer to the question there in the chat somewhere where we can find it, because I'd like to see who that is. Did not visit Gale Sayers. That was not a smart move on his part. All right. So that's 20. Welcome into the Voice of College Football. We got Michael on the line.
Hey, Mark. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing just fine, but I'm doing worse by the minute.
Good. How many glasses of milk have you had with those Oreos so far?
I'm near the end of my second glass.
Okay. I get a question for you. I tried to look this up, and I couldn't find it, but it's another question. Who was the first quarterback to throw for 600 yards and then the first quarterback to throw for 700 yards in a game?
I'm almost positive on this. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm getting my numbers confused. I'm almost positive the 600 yards, I believe, would have been. Man, now I'm forgetting whether he threw for 621 or 721. Dave Wilson in 1980 for Illinois against Ohio State set the record that I don't think has been I don't know. I don't remember. Is Dave Wilson the answer to one of those?
Yes.
Did he throw for 621 or 721?
It was 621 on November 8th of 1980.
Yeah. And they lost to Ohio State 49-42. Okay, so I got to come up with the next guy, 700.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost positive it is one of those Houston quarterbacks, either David Klingler or Andre Ware, I believe. And I'm going to go, even though Ware was the better player, I think it was David Klingler.
Yeah, it was 7-16 in December 1990. Now, as far as
I'm going to go with the fist pump on that one. I'm proud of myself on that one.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm not sure. I tried to look this up. As we both know, Drew Brees has a single game attempts record with 83.
Against Wisconsin, right? On the road.
In 1998, that was at the game. Who had it before him? Because I cannot find it.
Oh, so you're asking me a trivia question that we don't know the answer to.
Well, you might know what I don't.
We're going to have to find it. 83 pass attempts at Wisconsin. Who had it before Drew Brees? And that was that his senior season?
No, that was his sophomore season, 1998.
98. So it was sometime before 98. Well, the obvious guesses are either Klingler or Ware. I would start there between those two guys. I don't know if you've looked up the numbers that those guys amassed. It was ridiculous. They scored 95 points one game against, I think it was George Washington.
Yeah.
But I don't know who had I do remember watching that Drew Brees game that they lost, right?
Yep. Yeah. I was actually at the
there.
Game.
Huh.
Yeah, I was there. It was a night game too. It was on ESPN. And it was not a bad, it was a good game. But that being said,
it being a night game, but
anyway.
No.
But we both know Klingler's record's been smashed since then, but it's actually not by much so. Anyway, the thing I'm trying to figure out is who's the I think was it Campbell and Schleicher? No, Schleicher won the Ohio State in 83, was he?
I think you're thinking of the 81 Purdue Ohio
State game, right? When they each threw. See, Campbell threw for 533 and Schleicher threw for 545.
Something like that. I don't remember the yardage totals, but Ohio State won a very close game. 45-33, yeah.
But is that still the single the Big Ten record for combined passing yards in a game now?
I don't know, but I can't think of what combined quarterbacks would have eclipsed that, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Schleister didn't throw for that many yards in that game. 545?
Yeah, because it was over 1,000 yards combined.
You may want to check on that.
Hang on, let me check it up.
I might be wrong, Michael, but Schleister set the Ohio State passing record in a single game. That was against Florida State the same season. He threw for 458. And then Dwayne Haskins broke Schleister's record. I forget against who. I think Maryland. Yeah. But you might want to check on that. It's possible that I'm wrong, that I'm mistaken for some reason, but I had it in my mind forever that Schleister had the all-time passing record for a single game at Ohio State with 458.
Hang on, I'm trying to actually find it up right now. It's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to do. But
it's harder to find college passing stats and any stats and records than it is like the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But no, what? Okay, I'm gonna see because you might not know. You might know this now. But what is the actual passing yardage record for a single college football game now?
So yeah, okay. Let me think. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was it one of Leach's Washington State quarterbacks?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Actually, it might have been another Leeds quarterback too.
It might have been what?
Both of them might have been Leeds quarterbacks.
Oh, there are two that passed Klingler's record.
Yes.
Oh man, I think Luke Falk was one of them.
Nope.
No.
No.
Connor Minshew.
Hang on, let me. No, you got the first name right.
Oh. Yeah, well, I already missed the answer. So,
all right.
Who
Patrick Mahomes and Connor Holiday both threw for 734.
Oh, Connor Holiday, yeah.
And when was Leach there when Mahomes was at Texas Tech, or he your lead?
Mahomes last year was what? He's been in the NFL for 6 years, so his last year there would have been like 17.
This was in 2016.
And Leach got to Washington State in 12. That was Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay, that's who it was. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So Mahomes and Connor Holiday are tied for the single game record.
Yep, 734.
I guess I remember Connor Holiday. I didn't know Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if that was a question, I guess we were surmising there. So I'll eat a cookie.
Yeah, not bad. Just wondering stuff like that. All right, I'm sure you got another stuff like that. So, what do you got cooking for the off season so far?
I'm sorry, Michael. Give me just a second here.
Okay, sorry.
What do I have going for the off season?
Yeah, as far as your other streams and stuff like that.
Well, we have just released our coaches rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you check those out, 1 through 69 in the Power 5, and we'll do our group of 5.
All right.
Yeah, that's a great question. I've got a big list of content ideas that we have to release here soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm trying to find out, and I don't see where it was at and stuff like that. I'm trying to find it through Sports Reference, and I don't know why it is for the life of me. I cannot find it, but I'm going to keep looking at it. But I'm pretty sure it's 543 and 545 and 533 for Schleicher and Camo combined. But I'm going to keep efforting.
Yeah, I don't think Schleicher threw for that many yards.
Okay, I was wondering. I will keep looking. All right, sir. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Michael. Have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye. Tim letting us know that Connor Holiday has the most pass attempts in a game now. So he passed Bree's record 89. All right, folks. If you want to keep serving up questions, I'll keep eating Oreos. I was a bit, if I had some, Mike, yes, I would like to think so, but my system, unfortunately, is way too accustomed to this. So, it hit me today at some point that I should have saved this for another time because it's President's Day, and I saw the comment or question on Twitter about Mount Rushmores in college football, and I thought, that would have been a perfect subject for tonight's show. And we talked about that over on the Oklahoma show this afternoon, the Mount Rushmore for Oklahoma football, and we could have done that tonight for all of you for your team. Oh, man, I think we've got a first-time caller. You know what? I know we've got a first-time caller. No, what's going on tonight? Uh-oh. Noah, can you hear me? I can't hear you for some reason. Hello, Noah. Don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's on my end. So if you want to try calling back and give it a shot, because we do have a super chat coming in here. Appreciate that coming in from Lemansky. I don't think we've heard from you for quite a long time there, Lemansky. Good to see you. Milk tastes better in glass containers. Bottoms up from Hawkeye Nation. It actually does. Yes. So I went with the second glass of milk here, and we have down 21. I may have missed. I think I missed another question, didn't I? What was his last question? I thought I threw that down there. I'm falling woefully behind the 50% range at 17 for and 21, 17 for 38. So that's a bit upsetting. Lemansky, thank you for that. You paid for about 4 bags of double stuffed Oreos. I will let everyone know that these are going to be the last Oreos that I consume for at least a month. And the way I feel right now, for like another 2 decades, probably. I have absolutely no, there's no temptation in me, no desire to eat any of these cookies that are in front of me. This has knocked it right out of me. And I didn't think about that being any kind of incentive, but it actually has become one, because as soon as I rid the house of these cookies and anything else that I've got on hand that would get in the way of my eating plan going forward, I'm going on a fast. So we're going extremes here. We're eating hundreds of cookies in the span of a couple days. And if you think that's an overestimation, it's really not. I did eat a couple packages of like 50 to 52 count packages of cookies last week. So we're going from that to, as soon as this is out of the house, which at this point, it might take a few days to get normally I would say, you know what, after we've got an 11 o'clock live stream with Matt Zemek tonight on USC Live, that I would just dust these off. But man, I don't feel like touching another cookie. So as soon as we get these out, then the fast starts. And the fast is going to be fruit and vegetables, and that's it. Fruit, vegetables, nuts, almonds, cashews with no salt. So ridding sugar, unless it's natural sugar from fruit. And the fast is going to start here soon. So I might be dragging for a few days. You'll probably see me go from the sugar high, and you're going to have to wake me up, or I'm going to be holding my head constantly from headaches here in about 3 days. All right. Super chat coming in. Appreciate that so much from our guy, Matthew. Mount Rushmore for Texas. Here we go. we've got some pretty serious, not saying that this is not a legitimate list because it is. But I would think that this is pretty typical of most current college football fans under the age of 40. That they're going to grab the one like legendary, they're all legendary, but legendary name that everybody just gravitates as the best player in program history. And that, of course, is Earl Campbell. Not that he is, but he's certainly the most famous. Then after that, there's a recency bias. Not saying, Matthew, hear me out. Not saying that's not a legitimate list because it's exceptional, but maybe Tommy Nobis? But Derek Johnson, the edge rusher who played for the Chiefs, Ricky Williams, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner from 1998, Vince Young, who could have won the Heisman in 2005, Earl Campbell, Heisman Trophy winner in 1977. Yeah. That's a good list, though, Matthew. Thank you. And again, not saying that that one's not the best list or a legitimate list. It certainly is. I just don't see anybody pre-78. 77 was Earl Campbell. Yeah, he was the NFL rushing leader and rookie of the year, 1978-79. Oh, Mike G. No. I did hear that, LFG, about Aaron Rodgers. Tommy Nobis, good call, Eisman. Eisman, did you answer your question with the Iowa coach? You probably did, and I just missed it. So we're going to leave the link in the chat because I'm really not dusting off these questions too well at 17 for 38. That's about what I would have guessed. But I've had about 5 questions that kind of upset me because they were, very, very reachable. All right, call coming in here. Who do we got on the line? Kazito.
Hey, Mark. Can you hear me?
I've got you. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I got a couple of BCS era questions.
Okay.
So, in the 16 years of the BCS, there was the AP poll had the same top 2 as the BCS poll for 13 of those years.
Mm-hmm.
What was the 3 years that they didn't? And what were the teams that were ranked top 2 by the AP poll that weren't in the national championship game with the BCS?
So the first one that comes to mind would be 2003. So LSU and Oklahoma were top 2 in the BCS, and USC was number 1 in the AP, and they played in the Rose Bowl. 04, 05, 6, 7, 2013, 2012. Oh, in 2012. I'm guessing. I don't remember the stipulations regarding Ohio State's sanctions because I know that they weren't in one poll, but they were in the other poll. I guess I'll take a chance on this one. Alabama and Notre Dame at 1, Alabama at 2 in the BCS rankings. In 2012, Ohio State was ineligible, and I'm guessing they were number 2 in the AP poll. Is that correct?
So no, it is not correct. Alabama was second. Ohio State was third in the AP poll.
Oh, okay.
It's 2000 when Miami was ranked second over Florida State.
Yeah. Yep.
2001, Oregon was ranked second, and Nebraska got into the championship game instead because they were ranked second in the BCS, but Oregon was ranked second in the AP poll. 2001.
All right. I'm eating a cookie. Good question. I should have went through those other years first. That was bad strategy on my part. I just jumped to lowest common denominator, and instead of like vetting each year is what I should have done.
Yeah, that's all good though. You got a good guess.
That is a relatively easy question. Go ahead.
Okay, and then stick with the BCS. Out of the non-AQ teams to make BCS bowls, what was the record of non-AQ teams in BCS bowls in the BCS era?
Oh, non-BCS conference teams.
Yeah.
Well, oh boy. I really want to go through every year and think about this. Well, we know that Boise State and TCU played a game, so they basically split that game 1-1. TCU beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl. It's 2-1. Boise State beat Oklahoma. That's 3-1. Utah beat Pitt. That's 4-1. But again, I'm scattering all over the place. I should go year by year. 98, 99. That's 4-1. 2013, UCF beat Baylor in the Fiesta Bowl. Wow. Our non-BCS teams 5-1. Who else? 2012. Any other Boise State games? I should be probably. Man, I can't believe it. I should probably keep thinking. I can't imagine that this is the record, but the Boise State team that missed out in 2009. I think that was the team that played TCU. Did Boise State? Okay, in 2007, I got that game. All right. Really? I got 5-1.
Okay, so technically, actually, it's 5-3. I mean, so it's Fiesta Bowl. Utah beat Pittsburgh 2005. Yeah, and then Boise State beat Oklahoma.
Yeah,
and then Georgia beat Hawaii.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, they whipped them.
Yeah, 42-10.
Yeah,
I'm going to give myself a
Alabama.
bonus point for knowing the final score of these games.
That's Utah beat Alabama, right? So 3-1. And then Boise State, TCU, both of them were
Utah 31-17.
Yeah, the Boise State TCU game, both of them were group of 5 teams basically. So you can count it as one win or one loss for both of them, or just not count it really. But
yeah, sure.
4-2 or 3-1, whichever you want to look at it. And then Wisconsin lost to TCU.
Yep.
In the Rose Bowl. And then Northern Illinois.
2012 against Florida State. 30. Yep. You got the scores in front of you?
Yeah, I do.
30. Wait a minute. 30, 34, 13.
31-10. So a field goal off on both sides. Yeah.
Okay.
The Jordan Lynch days, man.
Yes, wow. Jordan Lynch. Yeah, Northern Illinois.
Yep.
Again, should have taken a little bit more time. Those are all games, I remember and watch and all that other thing. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Anything else, man?
Yeah, one last question. So, wait, did I just lose it? Hold on. Shoot. Dang, I might have lost it. Well, yeah, I think I lost it. Oh well. Yeah,
Well,
those are two.
if you
Those are
come
my
up
two
with
questions.
if you come up with it, just call us back.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right. 19 right, 22 wrong after some mixed results there. 5-3 for group of 5 teams, or whatever they were called at the time, non-BCS teams. Yes. I think we all remember those games, right? Yeah. Those the questions when you ask me, like, in a time period there were X number of games between 1980 and 2000 that such and such and such and such happened. If I could sit here for an hour, I'm going to get those right, because I'm just going to comb through every year in my Rolodex and get it. But I'm just kind of trying to spitball it to keep things moving here. All right, Lemansky, appreciate you being here. The Iowa trivia about Gale Sayers. Jerry Burns. Really? Jerry Burns of the Minnesota Vikings, who had a nice run with the Vikings post Bud Grant and Les, what was his name? The second coach that followed. So Bud Grant, of course, was with the Vikings after Norm Van Brocklin forever. And then his last season was 83. And I can't think of the coach, Les. And he went 3-13. He was a military guy. Anyway, can't think of his last name. He was there 1 year and they fired him. And then Jerry Burns came in and had quite a successful run with the Vikings. But I had no idea that Jerry Burns was the head coach at Iowa. I like that. Good stuff. And then we've got Noah. Sorry you couldn't call in, Noah. Sorry, didn't make it through there. So we got an 02 and 03 championship game between Ohio State and Miami. Who stole the ball back for Ohio State from Miami? Sean Taylor. So Noah, thank you so much for, first of all, your contribution there. Very nice of you to contribute here to the Voice of College Football. And also, Noah, thank you for getting me closer to 500 with an easy one there in Maurice Claret. All right. I think Tim's coming back for more here. Tim, what's going on tonight?
I'm coming back. First time here.
Well, I think the reason I said that was because Joey popped up at the same time. And so I was kind of like, that was in my brain about Joey coming back for another time, because he's ready to roll too.
All right. Well, I was going to throw you an easy one so I could save your diabetes, your blood sugar count, but
yeah,
I'm going to go with this. It's kind of a hard one.
Okay.
It's 2 levels to it. I'm going to ask you your overall knowledge and then your Big Ten knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question is who holds the NCAA record? And this is Power 5. Power 5. Okay. Who holds the Power 5 record for kick returns for a touchdown? There's five guys tied with this number, but only one of them. Oh, no, I take it back. No. Yeah, only one of them is Power 5.
Okay. Well, the first name that came to mind. Oh, shoot. Because he holds the NFL record, but I can't imagine he also holds the college record. So the first name that came to mind is Devin Hester. Tim Brown, Rocket Ismail, Reggie Bush, Johnny Rogers, Greg Pruitt, Joe Washington, Dion.
ACC. He's in the ACC. I'll narrow it down for you.
Well, yeah, you did. The question is, did he play in the ACC?
This is college football. Most career kickoff returns for a touchdown.
But my question is, did he play in the ACC? His school may be in the ACC now.
Correct. When he played, his team was in the ACC.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Well, then it's not Dion. Is it Ryan Switzer?
Nope. The last initial of the last name is correct. So it's an S.
Kick returns. Louisville, Boston College.
Don't peek at Todd Gwynn because he's giving you a hint.
Yeah, I can't even see that. I got to put my glasses on. Yeah, I don't like hints. I'm not big into hints. I either got it right or wrong. I obviously got it wrong already. Who is it?
It's CJ Spiller.
Oh, okay.
From 2006 to 2009, 7 of them. And then now I'm not gonna. Then how about I was gonna ask you who holds the Big Ten record? You might know
for kick return touchdowns.
And this one is a trick question. It's not even fair, really.
No.
Well, I mean, it's fairly recent, so I mean, it's not that much of a trick question.
Well, the most recent famous kick returner, because he won the Heisman Trophy, would be Desmond Howard, but
much more recent than that.
Oh,
like within the past 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so Spiller had 7. Some of the guys I knew were Rashad Penny, also had 7 from San Diego State.
Yep.
This person has 5.
Huh.
Which ties him with guys like Rahib Ishmael.
Because
you remember Reggie Dunn from Utah?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, before you said that, I was going to say Tim Dwight, Iowa, because he had several. But oh man, this should be easy in the last 5-6 years. In the
I think this is a super hard one because I saw like, oh really? Matter of fact, I'm struggling to remember this player. Then again, I'm not a massive Big Ten guy yet.
Oh man, I know when.
I'm gonna give you the team.
Well, if you give me the team, I should get him, but that still doesn't.
It may not.
There's dudes out there, playing for Rutgers or Indiana that I have long since forgotten about.
It is Rutgers.
Oh, well then it's not Isaiah Pacheco.
Nope.
It's oh shoot, I can't think of his name. Oh, it's. I know who it is, but since you had to give me the team, I'm not counting that as a right answer if I get it anyway. So
it's you ready?
Yeah.
Then correct me if I say his name wrong. Let me try to say the name right. Janarian Grant.
Oh, that's not who
Janarian Grant. Five kick returns.
Playing in the NFL.
And this was my first call, Ben. That wasn't my second call, just so you know.
I was not thinking of Janarian Grant.
Yep. I thought I'd throw you. I know. I thought you might. I thought it was hard enough that wouldn't be a layup for you, but difficult that you might be able to get it.
I should. Well, I would have said a long time ago I should know that, but I don't expect myself to know much of anything these days. But
I learned something doing this. What about punting, punt returns?
Okay.
Who holds the NCAA record for touchdowns on a punt return? This guy holds a record by himself.
Well, I'm gonna guess, make obvious guesses. So
I'll give you, and also it's also within the last all these touchdowns were within the last 10 years.
Oh, I'm gonna say it's it's either, I'm gonna guess, an Oregon or LSU player. Than my first
close and no. Close and no.
Okay. Then I because I'm gonna guess like Honey Badger or LaMichael James was where I was going.
It was no, it was Dante Pettis, 9 from University of Washington.
Yeah.
Pettis. Yeah, that guy was fast.
Who broke the combine record.
Yeah. It was held previous. That was you were close earlier. It's Wes Welker and Antonio Perkins. Both held it for the better part of almost 20 years, or 15 years before he beat it. But that's all I got for you. I thought I'd keep them easy and I wouldn't nauseate anybody with a USC question.
Well, that was a good question.
Wait, one more. So how about this one? Which university holds the record for the most Heisman trophies?
Legit Heisman trophies? Ones that have not been.
Well, no. Even the one you might be thinking of, he won. So technically, my question is, who has won the most Heisman trophies?
You're throwing me the layup with USC. It's 8 now, correct?
It is 8 now.
Yes, they've broken the tie. Notre Dame, Ohio State, maybe somebody else at 7.
Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, thanks for not adding to my diabetes, at least with the last question. The rest of it was rough.
Well, I could have said who's the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, but that would be too easy. That'd be much easier for you.
I could count that as a win.
Yeah, I got layups all day. I got layups for days, but I think you got Ben in the background. So
my winning percentage. Yeah. All right, Tim. Anything else?
Nope. I will see you soon.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think we may go to the standard of being, if we don't have 200 people in here, then I won't subject myself to anymore. No, thank you so much for the super chats here. We got Ferris. Last time Michigan won in Columbus. Thank you for another layup. November, whatever, 2022. And before that, 2000. And then we also have a super chat. Thank you for that, Ferris. Ferris coming back with who won the 10-year war? Oh, good question there. So the 10-year war was between Ohio State and Michigan. Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler, that ended when Woody Hayes was fired at the conclusion of the 78 season. So the 10-year war lasted from the time Bo Schembechler was hired in 1969 through Woody Hayes in 78. Michigan 5, Ohio State 4, 1 tie. There you go. Ferris, thank you for the layups. See if you got another one for me. He does. Winningest program in collegiate history. Okay, this can be up for interpretation. So I'm going to accurately, if you say winningest or the most wins, Michigan. Winningest, meaning highest winning percentage, the Ohio State University. Thank you for that, Ferris. You helped my winning percentage. All right, we got Joey back at him. Joey, what's going on tonight?
Well, I was going to come in and give you a couple of layups, and then when Tim came in and said he was going to throw you some layups, I was going to leave until I heard his questions, and I was like, okay, those aren't layups. So I stuck around to give you a few layups.
Hey, I am here to answer any and all. Do not throw me pity.
All right, I'm gonna throw you a couple layups, and I'm gonna throw you one that's going to be maybe you have to think about.
I'm 25.
1988 Heisman Trophy winner, and who did he play for?
88 was the year Major Harris did not win. Tim Brown won in 87. 88 was Barry Sanders, Oklahoma State.
Very
and
good.
do I get a bonus point for telling you that he ran for 2,628 yards?
Oh, very good.
Look that up.
That's a good one.
Fact check me on that one.
All right, 10 years later, 98. Who won the Heisman Trophy?
That was Ricky Williams, Texas.
All right. Do you know how many yards Ricky Williams run for?
I don't. The Barry Sanders, that's the all-time record. So that, at least at the time, and I'm sure it is now. So that's stuck in my brain. Ricky Williams, I'm going to look this up afterwards just to see how close. I would say he was like in the.
I can tell you. So
you got it.
So because that was actually going to be my next question. I was going to see if you knew that. I figured you did. Barry Sanders, 2,628 yards. Ricky Williams had 2,124.
No. I didn't hear that.
Well, that's okay. You were going to get another question.
1784.
Who? Williams?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't hear what you said. That's why I'm guessing. He
ran for 2,124.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, but here's the question for you: How many touchdowns did Barry Sanders have in as Heisman winning season?
Like a ridiculous amount. Rushing and receiving.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look at that. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
it's just giving me an overall number, so I assume it's meaning rushing and receiving.
It was something like 37.
That's right, 37. How about Ricky Williams? Do you know how many he had?
He had obviously a ton as well. 26?
27.
Oh,
10 less. 27. You're right there at it.
Do I
Very good. Very good.
Myself in the ballpark there. All right.
All right.
Good.
One more for you here. Oklahoma State game, prior to Oklahoma State game, Texas officially retired Williams' jersey. What number jersey did he wear?
Number 30. Oh. Did Earl Campbell have the same number as Ricky Williams? He wore 34.
He wore 34. Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I threw you some softball.
Well, I hesitated there for a second because Earl Campbell had the same number. There you go. Yeah. Nice.
All right. Threw you some softballs. You did good. You missed the only one you missed was the Ricky Williams touchdown. He's off by 1. That's okay though. That's a good buffer right there.
Thanks,
man.
All
right, Mark. All right.
Thanks, Joey. Our man Joey chiming in with another round. And I currently stand at 30 right and 26 wrong. And Ben's coming. No, we already heard from Ben, so we're going to pick off a new caller to the show. We got Noah on the line.
Okay, can you hear me this time?
I can hear you, Noah.
Oh, awesome. Honored to be on.
Hear from you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Got that job, 3-day weekend, so I'm doing great.
Well done.
Yeah. So I've got 3 questions for you. I think you'll be all right with these. The last one might be a little hard though. So the first one, who has the Sugar Bowl record for rushing yards in a game?
Wow. Can you give me the number of yards?
230.
I believe that would be one Zeke Elliott against Alabama.
Yes, sir. Going off of that, can you give me the scores of the last 3 games of that Buckeyes national championship run?
They beat Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship 59-0. They defeated Alabama in the Sugar Bowl 42-35, and then they defeated Oregon 42-20 in the national championship game.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Hopefully this one takes a half second. In the biggest college football blowout of all time, score of 222-0. Do you know the 2 teams that played?
So wasn't that, I hope I don't screw this up, wasn't that Cumberland and Georgia Tech?
Wow, it was.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I messed with the wrong man tonight.
Well, you were somewhat in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's fair.
I used to pretty much know every Ohio State score ever, but I don't think I could remember all of them now.
If I can sneak a quick one in for you,
Sure.
I don't know if this one counts officially.
If I get it right.
How old is Stetson Bennett?
Can I ask you when his birthday is?
Like the date?
Yeah.
Oh, I can look that up.
I want to know if he just turned like the next year.
Oh, it's in October.
Okay. I'm going to say that. Is he 25 or 26?
Well, I mean, at the time of the games, if that
Yeah, he's
helps.
either 25 or 26. 25?
Yes, it was 25. Very passive aggressive question from a still frustrated Ohio State fan.
Well, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
That was
So I'll leave it with that. Great job. I cannot believe how fast that was, but wow.
Here's my trivia question for you. This is a hypothetical trivia question, Noah.
Okay.
What would the final score have been in the national championship game this season had Ohio State played TCU?
I will say, I do think TCU, for some reason, could have given us a fair game, but I do think it would have turned back into kind of Ohio State's habit of play them close a little bit for the first half and then pull away. So I'm going to say they would repeat the score of Oregon 42-20 on the dot.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Well, Noah, I'm glad that you were able to get through this time.
Yeah. Good to be on. Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good one.
Hey, Noah. You too. We'll see you. All right. Lemansky, appreciate you being here, sir. What do we got here? Earl Bruce coached the Iowa Barnstormers. Yes. What two colleges in Iowa did he coach at? Oh, boy. So, oh, man. Okay. Oh, I think I got it. So Earl Bruce, after the Ohio State job, he came to Ohio State from Iowa State. And I believe he also then coached Northern Iowa. I'm almost positive. And he did not have an impressive stay there at Iowa State, as really no one ever has. But you'll have to check me on that one and let me know, Lemansky, if I got that right. Iowa State for Earl Bruce in Northern Iowa. All right. Next up, we're going to go to Ben because everybody else has been here. So Ben's first call coming in. Ben, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I got. Can you hear? Okay, you can hear me. I got one for you. In light of the last question you asked the last caller, will Ryan Day be coaching Ohio State in 2024 after Ohio State loses to Michigan again?
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You just fired me up already.
I fired you. I did not even touch Michigan's half of the playoff.
Yeah, but you brought up TCU, and Ohio State was obviously going to beat TCU, so Michigan wasn't man enough to do the job. It was alluded.
Maybe just a little bit.
All right, so I have so I'm gonna do this in a easy, harder, and hardest.
Okay.
And
I haven't gotten much Michigan trivia, if any, yet.
Okay, so first one, and I know this is a more than a layup. The name of the mascot for OSU, Ohio State University.
Well, thank you for easing us into it here. I think we can all play along with this one. That would be Brutus.
Okay.
Brutus
Did you know that Michigan has a mascot?
I know that Michigan
traditionally
probably shouldn't have a mascot. But,
do you know the name of that mascot?
Wally the Wolverine. I don't know. What?
Oh, you don't? I thought you would know this. I'll give you a second.
I didn't think about that. I just tried to be funny, which is what failed miserably. I'm trying to think. Do I ever see a Michigan mascot on the sideline?
Not really. They don't have so they used to bring the Wolverine to the game. Originally, it was a stuffed Wolverine. Then they would actually bring actually, there was a set they would bring. There would be a pair of Wolverines, but the one that's traditionally called the mascot name, or what real Wolverines fans know it as, is the one I'm asking you. What?
Victor.
No, incorrect. Can I give you the answer?
Sure. I've missed the question. Yes.
You've missed it. It is Biff.
Biff?
Yep. Biff.
Okay.
So I think you may have seen it on my shirt. I think John has the shirt. You'll see the guy, the Wolverine with the sailor hat on. His name is Biff.
Yeah. John's got it in his on his little handle picture.
Oh yeah, it might be. I may even see Biff on there. I don't know if if it says Biff on there, but
I
a little
try
fun
not
fact.
to really lay my eyes on as much maize and blue. I try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's why you got to eat an Oreo.
Not good for my eyes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let that one. I'll give somebody else a shot.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Well, I'm going to learn something tonight, that's for sure. And why don't we, hey, let's bring everybody in at the same time. How about that? We've got Exploring with Ben. We've got Will and we've got Kazito all at once.
No way.
Gentlemen,
Oh,
this is crazy.
I'll show my beautiful face for Tim specifically for a few minutes here.
Ben, when is the beautiful face coming out? When are you going to show us that one?
All right, the Oreo eating is going to commence really soon for you.
Uh-oh, yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
That should have been my parting shot, not before the question started. Well, I guess we'll start with you, Will, because Ben doesn't look too prepared, and I don't know what Kazito is doing. So let's start with you, Will.
Who was the coach of Notre Dame the first time they faced the Buckeyes in Columbus?
Oh, 1935?
Yeah.
35-36. I guess that would have been, I guess those years would have been I should get this right. I would think those are I got two coaches in mind. I'm going to go with the Frank Leahy years.
It's pre-Frank. It's Elmer Layton. Sorry.
Shoot.
Dang.
Okay. All right.
That's tough.
For me to eat. Okay.
And who knocked down the 2-point conversion attempt in the end zone to beat Miami in the game in '88?
Yeah. That's a. Oh.
No, you have to let him eat, Will. You have to let him eat. The rules.
Yeah, really.
Mark, I tried to keep up with you, but I tapped out at 24 Oreos.
Well, why were you eating Oreos with him? You didn't even do the question.
I'm going to go with. Oh, I got two names in mind now. I got two defensive backs in mind. Was it Rodney Carter?
It was Pat Terrell.
That's who I was going to go with. Was Pat Terrell? Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See, those piss me off that I screw that up.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that piss me off that I have the right answer right in my head. Okay.
Where does that last question? I'll give you a softball one while I find the question.
Yeah, I'm behind on my.
I wonder how much milk Marcus drank today. More than the Oreos.
I think that's 3 glasses right there. We're right at the end of the word.
Oh,
Someone dash him some more milk.
You got the.
Okay, there it is.
Have you just been drinking 1 gallon? Let's get the gallons on deck.
All right, who batted down Charlie Ward's pass in the end zone to beat Florida State in '93?
Man, I should have been studying up my path breakup for Notre Dame. Oh man, yeah, I know the play, but I don't. This was in '93. Who could have been in? Todd Light. That's
Sean Wooden.
Yeah, obviously he was gone by then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When wait here, I'll wait for you to. This will be a non-doomer question. This is a
I'm
non-doomer
getting to the
question.
point where I'm going to have to start owing. I'm going to be in Oreo deficit.
When did Arizona State join the Pac-12? Arizona and Arizona State.
I believe that was 1976.
It says 78 on Wikipedia.
I thought it was 77.
But I thought it was 77 too.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Well, I know there's a 1976 connected to that. Maybe that was when they agreed upon it. And maybe it took effect in 78. Of which, if that can be verified, I will certainly take that as a correct answer.
Yeah, I thought it was 77 too. So that's kind
I'm
of
seeing 78 though everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not 78.
And
Lemansky, thank you. Got that one right. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat there, Lemansky. Thank you for that.
all right, I'll give you one more Irish question and then I'll pop out.
Yeah, I'm upset about the Pat Terrell one.
Who was the
Yes,
first?
sir.
Who was the first Notre Dame player to win the Heisman? First one.
No, ask questions. So the Heisman started in 36. This was like in 42. No, not 42. It was in the early 40s, mid 40s.
Mm-hmm. Early 40s.
This should be easy, but oh wow, this should be easy. Huerta would have been in the 60s. Everybody else I'm thinking is in the 60s and beyond. This is going to be a name that we all know. Crap. It's not coming to me.
Angelo Pertelli.
That's an easy one. Yeah, absolutely.
That's an easy one.
Knew that one.
All right.
Mark,
Well,
but I just can't remember.
Yeah. Thanks for the fun show tonight, Mark. I
Thank
hope you
you.
have more success with different questions.
Appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, those are the ones.
Wow.
Yeah, you get a little older in life and forget a lot of names. And Angelo Bertelli, yes, Heisman Trophy winner. How many times have I seen that in a book? And it didn't stay with me. All right, Kavito, we'll throw you on there next.
All right. I got a couple more questions. So, this is kind of like a two-parter.
Yeah.
So, in the BCS era, the Big Ten made 18 BCS bowls. Can you know how many Ohio State made?
Well, we're talking 98 through 13, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
98, they went to the Sugar Bowl against Texas A&M. 99, 2000, 01, 02, they played in the Fiesta Bowl against Miami. 03, they played in the Fiesta Bowl against Kansas State. 04, 05, they played Notre Dame in the Fiesta. 06, they played in the BCS championship game. 07, they played in the BCS championship game. 08, they played Texas in the Fiesta Bowl. 09, they played Oregon in the Rose Bowl. 10, they played Arkansas in the Sugar Bowl. 11, 12, 13, they played Clemson in the Orange Bowl. That's 10.
Yeah. Yep. 10 out of the 18. And so I was going to say, out of the other 8, the Bulls at the other 8 of the other 8 games for the Big Ten.
Yeah. Oh, who played in the other games?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many for each?
Well, you had Wisconsin playing the Rose Bowl in 98 against UCLA. And Ohio State played in the other game. 99 would have been Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl against Stanford. And there have been any other Big Ten teams. 99. That was the Michigan win against Alabama in the Orange Bowl. Then in 2000,
Sorry, 13, not 8. Not bad.
2000 was just Purdue lost the Rose Bowl to Washington. I think they were the only Big Ten team. 01 would have been Illinois lost the Sugar Bowl to LSU. That's 5. 02, besides Ohio State, Iowa played USC in the Orange Bowl. 03, besides that Ohio State game, Michigan lost the Rose Bowl to USC. And I don't think there would have been another, no. 04, 04 was Michigan in the Rose Bowl against Texas. And am I missing anybody? I don't think. 05, I said the Ohio State game. The other Big Ten team would have been Penn State in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. 06, besides Ohio State, you had Michigan in the Rose Bowl against USC.
Yeah, did I say 18? Yeah, it's 28, not 18. My fault.
Yeah, I don't know what.
It was a 1, not a 2.
07,
my bad.
The other game besides Ohio State would have been Illinois in the Rose Bowl against USC. 08 would have been, besides Ohio State, would have been Penn State in the Rose Bowl against USC. 09, besides the Ohio State game, would have been 09. Anybody else? 09. Iowa played in the Orange Bowl against Georgia Tech. 2010, besides the Ohio State game in the Sugar, Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl against TCU. In 11, Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl against Oregon. Michigan in the Sugar against Virginia Tech. 11. Anybody else? I think that's it. 12 was Wisconsin against Stanford in the Rose Bowl. And that would have been it because Ohio State didn't make it. And 13, besides Ohio State, would have been Michigan State in the Rose Bowl against Stanford. I might have missed.
That's all 18 of the other ones.
Okay.
28 total. Damn, that's pretty good. So I heard you were asking for some Michigan stuff earlier.
Sure.
So I got to put you on. So do you know who threw for the most yards in a game for Michigan?
Well, I don't, but I can take a good guess. I would guess probably. This is not my final answer, but I would guess. I'm going to guess it's between Navarre and Henne. Let's see. Elvis Gerbach. I'm going to go John Navarre.
No, your inkling was actually wrong. It's Devin Gardner. He actually has a top 2. He threw for 503 yards.
Okay.
Against Indiana. And then he threw for 451 against your Buckeyes.
In 13.
Yeah, both. Yeah. 451, wow. And Jake Woodcock is actually 3rd. John Navarre is 4th, so.
Okay.
How about that? And then, okay. More Michigan. Do you know who has the most receiving yards in a game?
Well, again, I don't, but well, if Devin Gardner threw for 503 against somebody,
yeah, it's gonna be.
Would it have been that game? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
It's in that game. He
also had the most, in that game?
Yeah, 369.
Oh, wow.
He crushed the old record.
Who was
The old
that?
record.
Oh,
old record was
it,
246.
Devin Funchess?
For the old record?
No, for the new record.
No, Jeremy Gallant, as you said.
I'm going to guess him too. Yeah, the little slot receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has the most receiving yards in the season as well. Okay, one last one. In all Michigan football, do you know this one's a little bit easier, I guess, but in a single career.
Yeah, you chopped out there. What was the question?
Oh, in a game, how many receiving touchdowns in a game for Michigan football? What's the record?
So I'm just guessing a number?
Yeah, for receiving touchdowns. And a player.
4.
It is 4. You know, there's 2 people with 4. So
2 people with 4.
You can guess either one.
I'm going. Braylon Edwards?
No.
Nope.
He has 3 games for 3, actually.
Okay.
But no.
So who is it?
It is Derek Alexander in 92. And yeah, he did it against Minnesota.
I cannot believe how many times I think of somebody and guess somebody else that he was the first person that came to mind. I should go with my first instinct every time. Anyway, go ahead.
Him and Jehu Chesson, 2015.
Oh.
Against Indiana.
I think I remember that one with Chesson.
Yep.
All right, man. Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
All right, Ben. It's down to the 2 of us, and we got Sean waiting.
I don't. How many Oreos do you have left?
Well, you know what? I've got none left because unless I don't know. I think we're going to change the game to $100 super chats per Oreo. Otherwise, yeah, for as many times as I've eaten this many Oreos in my life, probably the accumulation of the 35 Chips Ahoy from last night. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be pretty in about 5 more Oreos.
That might have been the mistake with the Chips Ahoy last night. That might have been the mistake.
I'm sorry, what's that? That was a mistake?
That might have been the mistake was your training last night.
Yeah, that could have been it. I've apparently eaten 34.
We're going to knock that up to the whole bag.
Yeah. Again, $100 super chats will get it. Otherwise, we are in the simply trivia portion of the show.
Hey, and as Tim's question earlier, that was a good one about the punt returners because you said LaMichael James, and I was thinking, I think Kenyon Barner actually had more than him, and I forgot about Pettis. I forgot about Pettis. I totally forgot about Washington's Pettis.
Yeah, Barner is a better guess. Yeah.
But Pettis, I forgot about him, so that was a really good question.
I forget about a lot of people.
Well, I'll start you off really simple here. I'm going to try to do rapid fire again as fast as you can eat Oreos.
Okay.
Very simple. What was the original name of the Oregon Duck mascot? I will accept one of 2 names. I'll accept one of 2 names.
I have no idea. Ducky. Donald. Daffy.
I'll let you throw a couple more out there. I'll give you a shot.
Those are all the ducks I know in the world. Rubber.
Tim made a sarcastic remark of 0. No, Tim. It was I would have either accepted the Webfoot or Puddles.
Okay.
It's now known as the duck. So all right, 1 Oreo down. That was one of your layup questions, Mark. That was one of the easier
ones. That's a layup?
That was one of the easier ones.
Do we really think that anybody in the chat knew that?
Clinton Connor knew it. Tim did too, probably.
Really?
I haven't seen an Oreo.
Oh,
yet.
I need to answer the one question that was up there. Something about USC's offensive coordinators. Yeah. I'll get to that. Okay, go ahead, Ben.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure you touch on those because, of course, those are very
drinking water
important.
now.
Yeah, I think that much milk would also be a little negative at this point. That's a lot of milk.
It must be the combination of me using what little mental power I have with the nauseating effect of the cookies that's different than me just hanging out watching TV eating Oreo cookies. Must be
you're on a sugar high. That's all. That's all.
Sensation. Yeah, it's not much of a high. It's more like a headache high. Okay, where are we, Ben?
Layup question again. Layup question. Who threw the punch hurled around the world in 2009?
Well, thank you for that one. Our buddy LeGarrette Blount. Thank you for that one.
Follow-up question. Right? Who did LeGarrette Blount punch?
Oh, man.
Yeah, this one was like, what?
Yeah, everybody knows who threw the punch. That was in 2009, huh? So, well, he was a defensive player for Boise State. Yeah. Yeah.
Brian Hout.
Yeah.
He was a defensive end, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, defensive end.
Miss. Okay. Brian Hout will forever be remembered by me. Sure.
Record has it, LeGarrette reached out to him, sent him a letter, and he never heard back from the guy.
Well,
shockingly, I think he did break his jaw. I think in that punch, something like that. Oh, this one, I'm not going to give away, but this is a shout out to someone in the chat also. So this is more of their question also. What famous running back from a certain school went on to coach USC for, I believe it was 10 to 16 seasons?
Okay, famous running back.
From a specific school, went on to coach USC for 15 seasons.
He was the head coach at USC.
Yes.
Well, my recollection of USC coaches prior to John McKay is almost zero. So John McKay would be the first one. So he took over in like 64. So everybody after that was, John Robinson and Larry Smith and, Kiffin and Sark and Carroll and who am I not thinking of? Not Larry Smith, but the other Tolan guy who won the Rose Bowl in '84. Can't think of his name, but I don't think he was some kind of famous running back by any stretch. Who else is in there? Really? When did he coach USC? Not after like 1964, did he? I think that was McKay's first year.
It was before that he started.
Yeah. I'm not going to know.
I need a final answer, Mark, before you eat an Oreo.
Yeah, zero. That's my
John
answer.
McKay. John McKay.
Oh, John McKay was a famous running back?
60 to 75, he coached USC.
Well, yeah, I know when
Where was he one of the most famous? Where's the Oreo? I need the Oreo first.
I told you we're in the segment of $100 super chat per Oreo.
No. You can't just change it mid-show. You have to start a whole new show for
I
that.
can do anything I want. It's my channel.
All right, where was he a running back at before? He took over that assistant and then coaching job. Where was he running back in college at?
In another Pac-12 school, you said?
I never said anything of the sort. I said, where was he a running back at in college?
USC.
Mark. It's right in front.
Yes. The Ducks of
Follow-up
Oregon.
question.
See, it's not costing me an Oreo anymore, so my incentive is gone. So,
Follow-up question.
John McKay went to Oregon. I never knew that.
Follow-up question, because Tim he was screaming John McKay in the chat. Follow-up question. Before Oregon, where did he first start college career as a running back?
Oh, he was
one year before he went to Oregon. Where did he play as a running back?
I guess. Wow.
That was the original transfer portal.
I guess so. I don't know. He was at Pacific.
Think a little more your area.
Indiana.
It's close. I didn't know this. Purdue.
Oh.
For 1946, he was at Purdue.
It's funny because when you first asked that question, the first team that came to mind was Purdue. And then I was thinking, oh, Mark, you're just thinking about where John Wooden played.
Oh.
John Wooden played at Purdue. And I thought, I don't want to throw out Purdue because I'm thinking Purdue because of John Wooden.
Even I didn't know that until I really looked at him. I was like, oh, he was at Purdue for a year. Okay. Those are the easy questions, Mark.
Are they?
Are they?
Where John McKay played in 1940?
6. Come on now. 46. Give respect to the 40s. All right, I'll give you one last one, and I'll let you have it. I'll give you that same 5 plus or minus 5-year buffer.
Yep.
When did the Stanford Cardinal start playing football?
Oh, here we go with another Oregon. It was 1894. I'm guessing Stanford. Well, they played in the first Rose Bowl, didn't they? 1902. I'm going to go.
They might have. I'd have to double check that. They might have.
Isn't that Michigan, Stanford? Michigan. Anyway. If they played in that Rose Bowl of 1902, I'm going to say they started playing in 1882.
I gave you the buffer, Mark. 1892.
And you gave me the 10-year buffer, right?
I gave you the 5-year buffer. No, not 10-year.
And I thought we upped it to 10.
No.
We needed 10.
I even just said this. I mean, okay, here's a layup. This will be my final question.
Okay.
Simple layup question for you. It's it's a two-parter, but it should be easy. How many Heisman Trophy winners does Stanford have, and who are they?
I believe they have 2. Is that correct?
It's a 2-part question, Mark. You got to do the whole answer. I can't.
Well, I'd like to know if I'm correct on 2.
You're wrong.
How many do they have? Oh, they only have 1? Jim Plunkett.
That is correct. I think you're wanting to put McCaffrey in there, which
no. Well, I am wanting to put McCaffrey in there because he should have won the Heisman Trophy.
He should have won it.
He was my Heisman Trophy winner. No, I was actually thinking it was Frankie Albert in the 40s.
Yeah, Plunkett's the easy one, but I think everyone wants to go McCaffrey. I'm like, he should have won.
Well, no. That's not where I was going. Yeah, I know that McCaffrey didn't win the Heisman. Derrick Henry did.
Yeah.
I'm good with Plunkett. I got that one right.
So that's a half an Oreo.
That's a right answer. You needed to tell me.
All right, I'll leave it at that, but I want to give Tim a shout out for USC for Coach John McKay.
Yeah, that's
shout out.
That's going way back. I think my correct winning percentage pre-1950 is pretty poor.
Oh, I don't blame you. There's a lot of tricky questions. So, all right, Mark, I will leave you alone for the night. And,
thanks, Ben.
let you get over your sugar high.
Yeah, right, I don't think it's much of a high. All right, Ben, have a good one.
All right.
Thanks, Ben. All right, this looks to be our last call of the night, as I think everyone's winding down about as much as I am. Oh, answer this question here by Gixer Squid. Named the offensive coordinators at USC. Was that was pre-Norm Chow, wasn't it? I know they're very famous guys. Trying to think who would have moved on from USC. I know they're like NFL coaches, or at least Power 5 coaches. 04 and 05 at was that Chow and Sark? That's my guess. I'm going with those two. We've got Ben here asking, how many Oreos would Will have to eat if he had an Oreo for every interception Tyler Buckner threw in the 3 games played last year? Good stuff, Ben. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the super chat, sir. We also have something coming in from Eisman, who says, for $1 trillion Oreo dollars, who was Jake Rudock's offensive line coach in Jake's sophomore and junior years? You know, Mr. BF, Brian Ferentz. Way to set that one up. Mr. Eisman, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, Eisman. Thank you for that. We're going to go to Sean. Sean, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I didn't realize that Jake Rudock ever played offensive line here, but it's an interesting question. You're being quite generous in the types of questions you're allowing here. Some of these are fairly esoteric. I mean, there's
well, I set this up as, ask me anything. So there we go.
Okay. I've got some that I've got a few here. I don't think they should be that obscure that you would have to know it in a way, but hopefully. Yep. Okay. So one, the now ironically named Big Ten, when did it receive its namesake membership? When did it reach 10, and who was that 10th member?
Penn State in 92 would have been 11. So I believe it was Michigan State.
Okay. Extra credit. Do you know who? Like when they came into
yeah, that's what I'm trying to determine. I got a year in my mind. I don't think it's correct because I think it was earlier than that. 1947.
You were very close. It's 49.
My first inclination was to say 53, and then I thought they were really good in 53. I think they might have even had a share in the national championship. So then I thought 49, and then I backed it up to 47. Okay.
Okay, and I just thought of an additional one. Probably a layup for you. Additionally, what was Michigan State's, the school of Michigan State named up until just a few years before they joined the Big Ten?
Who did they what?
What was the school's name before they became Michigan State? Only a few years before joining the Big Ten.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm sure I've heard it at some point, but I'm not coming up with that one.
Yep, they were the Michigan Agricultural College. Good point.
Okay, that should have been a logical guess at that point in time. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so just when. Guess who was the first coach to be inducted into both the college and pro football halls of fame?
As a coach.
As a coach.
That's a great question. That is a great question. Pro and college.
And American Football League might help. As a hint.
Gotcha. That is a great question. everyone I can think of, I can't imagine being in the Hall of Fame in college. You know, Hank Stram and Reed Eubank and guys like that. Oh, how about he preceded Don Coryell.
There you go. You're getting very warm here.
Oh, shoot. This is where my brain doesn't work as well as it used to. I think I'm taking it in the wrong direction, though, because I know exactly Sid Gilliam.
Correct. I'll give you credit, even though you butchered the name horrendously of Sid Gilman.
Sid Gilman, yeah.
Yes. Yep. All right. There you go. Awesome.
Horrendously? I said Gilliam. Gilman. Okay.
That would be
okay.
Mark. Okay. Mark Richards. This next question.
No, that would be more like Mark Roger.
Okay. Moving on. There is one Power 5 school who has had a grand total of one first-round NFL draft pick in their entire history. They've only had one player ever go in the first round. Who is it? And there's no chance on earth you will ever guess who it is. I mean, I will.
Well, why won't I guess? There's only 68 Power 5 teams.
You won't guess who the
who the player is.
Who the player is. There is no chance you will guess who the player. I will come down to wherever you're living and mow your lawn for 2 weeks if you get the player right.
I think I've heard this before at some point, but one first rounder ever. Well, so Vandy, Wake, who are the obvious choices here? Not Rutgers, probably not. No. Shoot. Is it Wake?
It is not.
Yeah. I've heard this fairly recently in the last few years. Who is it?
It is Iowa State.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
Iowa State won in I don't know, 70, 80 years of the NFL draft, or the longest point they've had one player.
Have you ever heard of this player?
This player, his name was George Amundsen. He was taken in the first round, 1973. He was looks like he was a quarterback, sort of a running quarterback, athlete kind of guy. He was taken with the 14th pick. He ran for 194 yards in his NFL career. So 5 touchdowns. So not exactly a fantasy stud in the day. So I wanted to circle back. I just to that Sid Gilman question. I found out this year. I was blown away when they announced the Hall of Fame inductions that Don Coryell was one of them, because I had always just assumed that he was already in. It seems just almost criminal. I don't know how. I mean, what justification could there possibly have been for omitting him for this long?
Well, it is kind of difficult because they only have 5 or 6 per year, or whatever the number is. So I get you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Let's knock out these last 2 calls here, because we've been on for 3 hours. Good Lord. Rapid fire with Eric. Good to see Eric here. Eric, what's going on?
How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
My stomach's a little stuffed. pardon the pun. But
what did you have for dinner?
Oh, you've missed the entire deal here tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, I know the video is called Oreo Challenge.
Yeah,
Did you eat
I've
a
been
bunch of
eating
Oreos?
double stuffed Oreos for every trivia question that I miss. I've eaten 34 double stuffed Oreos.
Jesus, that sounds like me on like a Tuesday.
Yeah, me
as
well.
So a couple things on my mind. I think it's on everyone's mind. Realignment is back in the conversation. I've hated this discussion since the beginning because now everyone is an expert on who's an AAU school and who brings,
I've noticed that.
If it's just basketball or if it's, So it's wild. Especially as an Oregon fan, like in the Pac-12, like, I don't know if we're merging with the Mountain West or the ACC or we're not doing anything or we're just hoping for an invite. So that's wild. I want to hear your thoughts on that. And then the other thing I want to hear about from you are these proposed rule changes. And I pretty much disagree with every single one of them. I mean, two of them, like the icing the kicker, calling multiple timeouts, maybe that's okay. But I like that the clock stops on first down in college. And I don't want to see that go away.
Yeah.
But I want to hear what you think because you watched the game a lot longer than me.
Well, unfortunately, I really can't comment to the rules changes because the only thing I saw today was simply a headline about possible rules changes, and I've just been recording and doing other things, so I haven't looked at any of that. So this is the first time hearing of any of that. I have no knowledge of what the proposals are. So I'll address that at some other time. In terms of what was the other question? Oh, concerning realignment.
Yeah.
Of Oregon. Well, I do believe that Oregon's too valuable of a sports and football commodity to be left out. I don't think they're that vulnerable. Now, they may be vulnerable to what they really prefer, but they're not vulnerable in regards to being left out. So I don't think you have any issue there. I just can't imagine a scenario in which Oregon's going to be left out. We're talking about one of the top football programs in the country.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be left out, and that's why, in fact, we're in an okay position in that we can just sit pretty and win the Pac-12 and get an automatic bid to the 12-team playoff.
Yeah,
like it's not what it's about is like the media money. But I pulled up the rule changes right here. So number one is outlawing consecutive timeouts. So this rule would prevent one timeout from being called right after another, which often happens as teams try to ice the kicker. So that's the number one rule change. Number two is not extending quarters. This rule could make it so that a first or third quarter would not be extended for an untimed down if the quarter ends on a defensive penalty. Okay. Running clock is number three. According to this rule, the clock will continue to run after an offense gains a first down, except inside 2.5 minutes. All right. And then four is another clock running rule. It says the clock will continue to run after an incomplete pass once the ball has been spotted. And these are all moves, apparently, like what's been said is that they're all moves to shorten the game.
Yep.
Although there are a litany of other ways we could shorten the game.
Yeah. So I would have to give this a little bit more thought, but my first reaction is that for as annoying as it is, I don't like legislating just for legislation's sake and creating kind of a artificial, for example, the kickoff there is a certain establishment that's been made in the way the game is legislated and in terms of the boundaries of the field, that we understand that the end zone is different than the rest of the field. Therefore, it made sense when there was a kickoff that if the ball went into the end zone, that the player, the team could elect to take it out to the 20-yard line and then the 25. But to have this artificial rule that you catch the ball at the 3 and can determine I want it out to the 25, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's like putting a runner on second base out of nowhere that didn't earn second base just to speed the game up and end the game in baseball and softball. So I mean,
you're talking about the fair catch rule.
Yeah, I don't like contrived situations. And so I know this doesn't exactly apply to that, but to tell a coach in what situation he can and can't call a timeout, if he has saved all of his timeouts and he wants to call them, unless you want to enact the rule across the entire game and say that you cannot call a timeout until another play. So you can only call one timeout and then a play has to be played before you call another timeout. Then make the rule enforced for the entirety of the game, not just for the end of the game.
But do you even think that's do you think that's a improvement on the game? Like if it were consistent, if it were throughout the whole game, you can't call back-to-back timeouts. Is that even an improvement, or is that just you would prefer if they were consistent in their legislation?
Yeah, I would just say that I wouldn't be that against it if it was a rule that they put in play for the entirety of the game.
Yeah. But like contextually, this rule really only you really only call back-to-back timeouts when you're icing a kicker, right? So this is
yeah. And I understand the annoyance and I understand the belaboring the point, but if the coach at any point in the game can call timeouts consecutively without there being a play run, then they should be able to do that at the end of the game as well.
Yeah, I agree. The biggest one I have a problem with is I really like that the clock stops on first downs in college football. It's kind of like the 1 foot versus 2 foot thing in college versus NFL.
Yeah.
Like I like that it keeps it. I know it's not an amateur league. We can't talk about it in that sense anymore because people are being paid and all those things. So, but I do like that certain rules make it a little bit more high scoring or faster paced than the NFL. And
yeah, the portion of that rule that I don't like is that you are subjecting the team that's trying to move down the field and score. And obviously this is in a game clinching situation that it matters, is you're putting the onus on the officials to. So, okay, maybe not. So the clock's going to start when the ball is spotted. Yeah.
Which I don't even know what is that before is that at the same time as the play clock? Is that what that means?
Yeah, as soon as the official is able to, that doesn't mean that they've gotten out of the way. So, you probably need 2 to 3 seconds for the official to get out of the way to snap the ball. But
yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little bit wild and still trying to digest it. But I appreciate your time, Mark. I'll let you get to this last call.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Have a good night. All right. Yes. Lastly, we've got Michael jumping back on here. What's going on, Michael? Michael, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
We hear a lot of noise. Michael, why don't you call us back during our next call-in show? Thanks, Michael. All right, everyone. Appreciate you being here. The Voice of College Football going over 3 hours here. And we've got a USC show coming up at 11 o'clock. And I am going to go into a coma until then. So appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the contributions, the questions, and all of that. We tally it up at an unimpressive 10, 20, 30, 35. Looks like 48 right and 39 wrong. All right, folks. Hopefully you kept track at home and did much better than me. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I would like to say it was fun. It was fun interacting with all of you. After about 4 cookies, which is way, way not even close to my limit, because what did we count? Like 32 Chips Ahoy last night. But just must not have been a good night for my digestive system. All right, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Next show is USC at 11 o'clock Eastern time in about an hour. 2 hours. We'll see you over on the USC channel. Good night. Oh, I guess I got to catch Eisman's question here. Heisman, sorry about that. I missed this one. Now we're going to NFL players. Running out of cash. Last question. Running back who has or had the NFL playoff record. This is right up my alley. We should do NFL trivia. Total yards, 85 rushing, 155 returning, 101. Oh, this is the infamous Kansas City, Miami double overtime playoff game. That's Ed Podolak, number 14 for Kansas City. Give me another one. 49 and 39. Thanks, Heisman. Appreciate that. Hope I did not miss any of their super chats. Oh, I think I did from Daniel. USC, the most Rose Bowl wins. Who is the second most? Probably Ohio State. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. I think it's close between a few schools, but I would guess Ohio State. Ferris, last 2 players to win both the Heisman and Super Bowl MVP. Say it loud. Well, Desmond Howard won the Heisman and then the Super Bowl MVP with the Packers, even though Brett Favre should have won the MVP. And then Charles Woodson did not win the Super Bowl MVP. I was guessing that we were going with Michigan players here, but of course, Brady never won a Heisman. So the last 2 players to win both the Heisman and Super Bowl MVP. Tony Dorsett did. Well, let's just go through all the Super Bowl MVPs. Am I going to put myself through that torture? Bart Starr, Joe Namath, Len Dawson, Roger Staubach, Chuck Howley, Bob Greasy, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Larry Zonka, Fred Biletnikoff, Harvey Martin, Randy White, Bradshaw, Jim Plunkett. There's one. Tony Dorsett did not win the Super Bowl MVP. He won a Super Bowl. Marcus Allen, Super Bowl MVP in the Heisman. So we got Plunkett and Allen. Then we've got Marcus Allen, Joe Montana, Super Bowl MVPs, Richard Dent. What am I up to? 85, 86, Phil Simms, Doug Williams, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana again. We got O.J. Anderson, Super Bowl MVP, Mark Rippon, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, did not win Heisman's, Larry Brown, Steve Young, John Elway. So we're still at Plunkett and Allen, and we're up to 1990. Terrell Davis. We're up to 98 with Terrell Davis and John Elway. Kurt Warner, Ray Lewis, Brady, Deion Branch, the Akron defensive back that won for Tampa Bay, the cornerback, Dwight Smith, Hines Ward, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Holmes, Eli Manning, twice. Where are we? Who won the MVP the second time when the Ravens beat San Francisco? Joe Flacco. Who was the Seahawks linebacker? Malcolm Smith or Bobby Wagner? Which one won the MVP? We've got Brady again. We've got Nick Foles. We've got Julian Edelman. Oh, Desmond Howard. Desmond Howard, Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett. And then we've got, where am I? 2015. Then we've got the edge rusher from Texas A&M that won the MVP in the Super Bowl, Miller. Where are we? 16, 17, 18, 19. Last couple of Super Bowls. Matt Stafford won the MVP, I'm guessing, last year. And who won the MVP this year? Who did win the MVP? Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, probably the two times that he won, it was Mahomes. Brady won another one. Okay, so those are the three that won Super Bowl MVPs and Heismans. All right, folks, I appreciate it. Again, we got USC football talk coming up at 11. And I hope Heisman was around for his answer to his 1971 playoff question. And if not, we will catch up with that soon with Heisman and let him know. My crowning achievement of the night was Ed Podolak. All right, folks, appreciate you being here. See you in an hour or two.